Stall out them pint bottles out granny crib. I poured so much I ain't wanna live. Told money then, shit we in the wind. I was in the hood when I clipped the bin. Since a young nigga I been ready. Went glass house on every Chevy. In this game I tried plenty settings. It's all or nothing. How niggas been. Got sucker niggas, keep suckers with them. One of the reasons I ain't fucking with them. Trish taking some more than her. Guess she couldn't even afford a winner. I'm open late, don't need a scale, and it's always over. Sneak wishing well, I double down, slick shit to spell. Shawty know I don't kiss and tell. I'm faded, 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 faded. I'm faded, 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 faded. I'm faded, 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 faded. I'm faded, 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 faded. Alright, chat. Where we at with it? Where we at with it? Where we at with it? Let's see what we got going on. Man.
Welcome to the greatest damn show on YouTube.
What I'm talking about. What I'm talking about.
To the greatest damn show on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, man. Double tap the screen, shut alive out. What we doing tonight, chat? Double tap the screen, shut alive out. What we doing tonight, chat? I said EBT a snap forever. Would this help America long term? We got tax cuts here, and we got rebate checks scheduled to come next year. Double tap the screen, shut alive out. We got an action-packed episode. We're going to watch Trump sit down, answer some questions. We're going to get into that Steven Crowder debate. Should EBT, well, I think his is in all EBT. In EBT, man. We finna get into it. Double tap the screen, shut alive out. Call your auntie, uncle, and your cousin. Tell them plug live, and he running his mouth. I don't care if you far left, far right, liberal, conservative, Marxist, fascist, alien, NPC, get your ass here. We finna have them conversations tonight, man. Yeah, I thought I heard something moving around, man. But look, chat, they got a big argument going on right now in the state, man. Y'all see I came in here with the Arkansas shirt on. Well, they got a big argument going on in the state about who's the face of Arkansas. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to let y'all know that if y'all hear anything about who's the face of Arkansas, look, vote plug, man. This right here is the face of Arkansas, man. And if we not the face of Arkansas yet, we will be one day, man. Double tap the screen. No hating on nobody. No shade on nobody, man. We just gonna keep it real. We kick it over here. And if I ain't the face of Arkansas for one thing, we damn show the face of Arkansas for the streaming shit, man. For right now, man. Over here on YouTube. No shade to nobody. I got a couple partners that's doing real good, man. If I win, we all win. If they win, we all win, man. Straight up. Double tap the screen. Shut alive out, man. We got an action-packed episode, man. We got like I told you, the Steven Crowder. We got Trump sit down. We got a couple miscellaneous clips. What else was there that I was gonna show y'all? Oh, this lady right here. It's been two of them. It's been two people that I seen. One lady right here, she said her baby was born 12 minutes after her having to answer these questions at the Dallas Regional Medical Center. Then I seen another lady where they said they basically denied her service or told her that she couldn't have the baby because she wasn't dilated enough and sent her packing, and she had that baby on the damn side of the road like 8 minutes later in the truck on the side of the road, you know, and the baby made it. They went to another hospital. She had the baby on the side of the road, and they ended up making it to another hospital. But that's crazy. They turned that woman around. Double tap the screen, shut alive out. We got a couple long forms tonight, so we're going to get straight into it. Lala, you got them plain lays ready? Auto Ward, you got them barbecue lays ready? Y'all double tap the screen, shut alive out, man. I see you in here, Darkin. What it do, Darkin? What it do, Too Strong? What it do, Too Strong? Big Niche, what it do? I see y'all. Lala, you got them plain lays ready? We intro mode. What's up, H Buster? What's up, Mama Money?
Go. I told that bitch don't get in my car if it don't come with no name. I told my niggas I don't like the beef cause that don't come with no chick. I told my niggas to mark my word, I guarantee that I'm next. I got the arms of a bodybuilder from the way that I flex. Might just hit the strip just to go blow me a check. They know what the fuck I'm on. They say that they got some of the best gas. They call it Southern Joy. Chain on chain and ice on ice like Adam Sandler. I'm Waterboy. I know I'm all in the head. Bad bitch laying in my bed. Wait till I give her a sprint. I'm a master with the head. Don't let these social fool you. These niggas broke. I know that they ain't bought it. Ain't got no car but talking shit. Okay, then little walkie talkie. I told that bitch to come home. I ain't got time for no bitch that's healing. Talk to blood, she called me daddy. And I'm screaming out no D. I'ma make sure that she come. I'ma fuck her good with my tongue. I know the night is still young. So baby, let's get it in. I know just how she like it tonight. She spicy, she added a friend. They ain't identical, but they fuck alike. So in the bed, I call them twin. I call them twin. Bed, I call them twin. Bitch, and shoot a shoot. 1 + 1 that equal 2. What you tryna do? Go back for back, check a swoop for swoop. Either way it go, I'm on. Either way it go, I'm gone. Brody them just got like 100 on them and they tryna get them gone. What you call it, wet? What's the name? And he put it in his song. Brody them got the purest powder, it's pink, you know this shit is strong. No, did it? I'm the type of nigga that turn my bitch up in each city. Brother cut out, we celebrating, we hit the gritty. I'm feeling like a baby, I'm trying to get that milk up out them titties. It's no question who young and the latest. If you want your bitch, then when she talking, hear her. If I want the bitch, I'm going Pittsburgh. Still her. I keep some on the side, I don't have trust in just the main bitch. Suck me up while I'm driving like damn, I'll die by this lane switch. Shit, different type of free, so we ain't never got a tussle. Throw it back like Miss London, and some of your life be hustle.
Oh man, double tap the screen, shut a live out. We got an action-packed episode. What's up, Laurie? What's up, Laurie? What's up, Fanita? Double tap the screen, shut a live out. Like I'm saying, y'all, they have this Face of Arkansas thing going viral right now. It's all on No Jumper and everything. So if y'all see anything about that, be sure to drop them damn plugs in the comments. Be sure to drop plugsation around, man. You know what I'm saying? All right, we finna get into it though. This clip right here is a lady, man. She's at the damn hospital in Mesquite, Texas. I done been to Mesquite a few times. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I like to go down there to them chicken spots in South Dallas. So I done been around Mesquite a few times myself through the years, but I do like them chicken spots. And it's a Vietnamese street food place over there, Chris and John. They go viral on Facebook. I seen them going viral on Facebook. I went over there. They sell these Vietnamese street food platters, man, like $30 platters, man. Hey, listen, y'all over there in the Dallas area, that be for damn sure. Go by Chris and John. See what they talking about.
Lang is her doctor.
She in labor. And they asking her all these bullshit questions. She's in labor. She's saying this is her third kid. She's saying the baby feels like the baby's in her butt, man. She knows she's about ready to have this baby. And this woman's asking her questions like, who's your doctor? How many kids have you had? And just nonchalant, like she's in there off a damn Xanax bar or something. Yeah, I'm just not gonna bullshit it, chat. I'm just gonna keep it real. She's talking to this woman like she's high as shit.
It's like this or just the black ones?
30 minutes. She was in the waiting area 30 minutes, about ready to drop this damn baby. They had her in the waiting area 30 minutes.
Her due date
I just said it was the 10th.
She got 3 pregnancies, 2 babies at home. I bet y'all listen next time. When you found out you were delivering at this hospital, your ass should have changed doctors. everybody say how they.
Say that lady had the baby 12 minutes later, man. 12 minutes later, she ended up having the baby, man. That is crazy. Chat, y'all double tap the screen, shut the live out. I got one more clip before we get into the main episode. We not gonna waste no time tonight. We're gonna get straight into it. Yeah, this is a Wendy's, chat. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm gonna have to do a reaction video to this shit because this burger small as hell, man. They saying that the fast food places, the chip bags not having enough chips in them. The fast food, look, man, this is. They say Wendy's done cut down the size of their drink cups and their damn burgers, man. This is a junior bacon cheeseburger, man, and this the new size of it, man. I'm not gonna lie, chat. If they handed me this little ass burger out the window, I'll probably be a little upset, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Look at how he's holding it, chat. Do y'all remember that episode of SpongeBob where not Patrick, but Squidward took that bite of the damn Krabby Patty, bro, where his teeth stretched out real far, and he took that little nibble off the Krabby Patty, and he went crazy. This is that damn burger, bro. Like, this is that little ass burger that was over there.
You guys, since when did the junior bacon cheeseburgers become like for like?
That's a slider. I'm not even gonna lie, chat. That's a damn slider. That's a slider. Straight up. That is a slider. That's no way they calling that damn thing a burger. Y'all remember KFC used to sell the little sliders for like $1.99, man? I think them came with the little the hoagie bun. Y'all know how the little sliders at KFC came with the little miniature hoagie bun, man. That's what that is, man. That's a damn slider.
Literal juniors. for like little tiny babies. How many bites is that for you?
Probably 2.
Probably.
Hopefully.
And this is
hopefully 2. You might squeeze 2 bites out of it. Talking about probably 2. You hope you squeeze 2 bites out that bad boy.
Yeah. I'm calling the police.
Yeah, you might well pop that thing, man. You might well eat that like the little gummy. Y'all know they got the little gummy Krabby Patties my kids be trying to buy them. You might well eat that thing like a little gummy Krabby Patty, man. I ain't gonna cap. Alright, chat, let's get into this Trump, man. Let's see what's going on. With Trump answer questions today, I think he talked about the $2,000 refund checks, and he talked about Ted Cruz running for president, a couple other things.
Website you love.
I ain't trying to build no website right now. I ain't gonna cap to y'all, folks. I ain't trying to build no website right now.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon. I'm delighted to welcome FIFA President Gianni Infantino, one of the greatest men of sport. He is an amazing man. He's done an incredible job with FIFA. Congratulations on the job. I hear you're setting records. World Cup tournament, this will be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, even for our country, because frankly, this goes to countries.
Oh, you say what's going on with the files? They voting tomorrow. We're going to live stream the vote tomorrow. They voting on the files tomorrow. Hold on.
World Cup, you can have a prioritized appointment to get your visa, because we said it the very first time we met, Mr. President. America welcomes the world. America will welcome the world here next year. We will have between 6 and 7 million tickets sold for the matches. We will have between 5 and 10 million people coming to America from all over the world to enjoy the World Cup. And with this FIFA pass, we can make sure that those who buy a ticket that are legitimate football fans or soccer fans, they can come and attend the World Cup in the best conditions, starting from getting their visa and then coming, of course, in the country to enjoy. You mentioned the economic impact, the 30 billion, 200,000 jobs, and this is just for the World Cup, and we will build on that to make soccer even greater. Here you are, the #1 country in the world, the United States of America, Mr. President. You have to be.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. It's gonna take a lot for America to become a soccer country, bruh. I'm just gonna keep it all the way real.
The #1 country as well in the #1 sport.
I don't know what time the vote is tomorrow. I'm assuming it'll probably go in late into the afternoon or into the evening. I'm assuming, but we're gonna be watching it closely.
In the world, so we have to work for that, and we will do that, and the World Cup will be very, very significant in this respect. So big thank you to you, to the White House Task Force, to everyone involved, and we are celebrating next year not just the 250 years, but also the greatest and most inclusive World Cup ever. We'll have 6 billion.
All right, it says procedural votes and debate are set to begin at 10 a.m. Eastern. The main vote is anticipated in the afternoon. It says House Speaker Mike Johnson confirmed the vote will occur tomorrow afternoon, though a specific time has not been provided. The bill will require the Justice Department to release all Epstein-related files within 15 to 30 days, depending on the version of the proposal. The measure is expected to pass the House, but its future in the Republican-controlled Senate remains uncertain. Trump said he would sign it. Trump confirmed that he would sign it.
People watching. We have the draw coming up on the 5th of December here at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. 1 billion people watching the draw to find out who plays whom and where. We have 32 teams already qualified. Before or by tomorrow night, we'll have 42 out of 48 qualified. So a quarter of the world will be here, and we are looking very much forward. So thanks.
It's not going to pass the Senate, though. That's the thing. It's going to pass the House, but it's not going to pass the Senate. Trump already said, he told the Republicans, like, if they voting with that, they not MAGA. Like, they going to turn their back on them. You know what I'm saying? Trump already said it. He said he would vote to sign it. He did say release them all, but we got to listen to what he said before that. What did he say right before that? Like,
support, thanks for the great work, and always happy to be here at home, if I can say that.
That's why you get Thomas Massey coming out saying what? What did Thomas Massey come out and say? He was like, look, y'all are voting no to protect these PDF files, and Trump's gonna be gone in a few years. You know, Trump got to 2028. What are you gonna say to everybody when everybody's looking you in the face and was like, oh, you're a PDF protector when Trump's gone? You gonna say you did it for Trump? You gonna say you just was supporting Trump or whatever? You said that you would protect PDFs just because to protect. That's what Thomas Massey was getting at.
Trophy right there.
Yeah.
And a big part of it too. Marco, would you say a few words?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. First of all, for getting the games, because this happened here.
Thomas Massey might be one of the only America First politicians out there that's like through and through America First. Like Thomas Massey, no AIPAC money, released the Epstein files. Yeah, he's going against the grain right now. Thomas Massey might be the only true America First politician out there. That's just like fuck.
When the Cup came here, and it's a major undertaking. So we've deployed over 400 additional consular officers around the world to deal with that, in some cases doubling the size of the consular presence in our embassies in certain countries. And the good news now is that in about 80% of the world you can get an appointment within 60 days. It used to take, half a year or longer, and now sometimes it took, now you can get it in less than 2 months, where in places it took over a year. In places, for example, like Brazil and Argentina, you would have to, it took over a year to get an appointment. Now you can get in less than 2 months. So our advice to everybody is, if you have a ticket for any of the games, you need to apply if you haven't done so as soon as possible. Don't wait.
Okay, so they said Kanye, while we're talking about this, they said Kanye apologized for all the anti-Semitism, and he did a show, I believe, was it a day ago, and I believe it was in Mexico, and he sold $213 million worth, million pesos worth of tickets. It's like $11 million. They said Kendrick had the highest grossing tour at like 9.8 million. Kanye went to Mexico and dropped 11 million first night. But remember, he couldn't perform with all of that anti-Semitism stuff out. That's why he had to go talk to the rabbi. They made him take down the WW3 song and all of those songs that were, all of those songs that they felt like was hate-filled songs. They made him remove all of that. And now I guess Live Nation is going to let him go to these venues. Maybe, maybe not, but they said he did a show in Mexico, man, and garnered $11 million in ticket sales one night.
Last minute. Your ticket is not a visa. It doesn't guarantee admission to the U.S. It guarantees you an expedited appointment. You're still going to go through the same vetting. We're going to do the same vetting as anybody else would get. The only difference here is we're moving them up in the queue. We're moving them up faster. But my advice to...
I would say Marjorie Taylor Greene, but I think she still cared. Like, after she came out and, you know, she, like, Trump called her crazy, a lunatic and all of that, and she came out and she was like, well, I'm still loyal to Trump. You know what I'm saying? It's the president. Like, if she would have been like, I'm loyal to the office of the president, like, I'm loyal to the president, when she was like, I'm loyal to Trump, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, Marjorie Taylor Greene, like, you fighting for these Epstein files. You are, you know what I'm saying? You are. I'm not gonna take that from you. But it's just, you know, I think Thomas Massey don't give a fuck who he go against the grain on. I think Thomas Massey just on some shit like, look, man, it's kind of clear what we need to do for America, man, and let's get it done.
Everyone that's watching around the world is, if you intend to come to the games, you have to have a ticket. You need to apply as soon as possible. You're going to get your interview within 6 to 8 weeks. I'm
not gonna lie, when I seen his donations, like where all his donations were coming from, Thomas Massey got some grassroots donors, like them people sending money from all over the country to him.
And move forward from there. Don't wait till the last minute to do it. Thank you.
Mr. Congressman, would you like to say that?
Well, first of all, Mr. President, none of this...
But I do think they finna try to get him out of there, though. They finna try to get Thomas Massey the hell up out of there, like out of office.
And without your leadership securing this during your first term, I tell my colleagues all the time, this will be the largest sporting event in the history of the world. We expand from 32 to 48 teams for the first time ever. We're doing it with Mexico and Canada, but obviously the 11 host cities will be here in the United States, and it's going to have a $30 billion impact economically in this country. And so it has been a team effort by everybody, but I also want to thank President Infantino and obviously you, Mr. President, and your entire team, Andrew and Nick and everybody. It is going to be an unbelievable sporting event next summer.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Andrew, would you like to say something?
Sure.
I think soccer is probably like the sport of the world, and that's why I think America will never let soccer be the main sport. Like, baseball is America's pastime, but we can just go on and be real, man. The NFL took that shit over. You know what I'm saying? NFL got it right now. NBA, the money's crazy. The money is crazy. They're getting paid crazy money in the NBA. But yet, soccer, man, they're not going to let soccer take over. Not in America.
Somebody much more important.
It's much more important. And honestly, without her work,
You got to think, like, America don't even treat Olympic athletes like the cream of the crop. You know what I'm saying? It's like Olympic athletes, like these Olympic athletes are world class. They're bringing home gold, silver, and bronze medals competing against the world. You know what I'm saying? And they really don't get as much respect as a professional athlete in like football or basketball or baseball. They just don't.
Secretary of State Rubio's work in the State Department.
Unless you like a Lance Armstrong or a Michael Phelps or something, like, no.
This would not happen without your leadership and your vision. This would not have happened. I think two key points. One, the Secretary of State already highlighted. This is a welcoming message to the world without going around the safety and security procedures. It's so key to make sure that this World Cup is safe and secure, and the White House Task Force is working every day to make sure that's the case. And also, as Congressman LaHood said, the economic benefits for American businesses, both small and large, from a $30 billion event like this. So really, thanks to all the White House Task Force members, from Secretary Rubio to Secretary Noem, to notice of funding opportunities that went out to the cities and states last month were really key from the safety and security perspective, to Deputy Chief of Staff Luna, who is integral in this whole process, to the White House Task Force members that are standing in the back of the room today and that couldn't be here. Without your hard work, this would not have happened, and I really can't thank you enough for really the best team I've ever been a part of. And also to FIFA, to the President Gianni Infantino, my good friend Carlos Cordiero, your desire to make this World Cup the best yet, it's contagious. Every single day I come in and think, what can we do to make this even better? And Mr. President, your vision more than anything. I think it takes a unique visionary to be able to go and see a sporting event and realize that this can be one of the greatest cultural events in world history. And I think there are very few people aside from the 45th and 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, that can do that undertaking. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Christy?
Mr. President, thank you for Andrew. Thank you for making him the head of our FIFA task force. He's fantastic. And Nick has been a rock star in facilitating all of our meetings, getting everybody together, and making sure that we're prepared to host this event. And it's going to be the world's largest sporting event ever hosted, and it's happening under your leadership. So every department has been working, but the Department of Homeland Security is working on making sure people can travel here safely. They know that they're welcome to the United States, that each of these events will be cooperative events with our cities to make sure that security needs are met. We put out over $600 million worth of grants to the 11 host cities that they'll have the advantage to partner on technologies and screening technologies, drone technology, counter UAS as well will be implemented. So we'll be prepared to host it safely, but also with Marco's leadership at the State Department, making sure that people that come in on these tourist visas are coming in thoroughly vetted, just like anyone who would travel here, and they would come and enjoy our country, and then they would go home in a timely manner. So we're excited about that, and we're excited to partner with you, Mr. President, on creating
What's up,
for
Ender?
people around the world that will make them not just fall in love with the United States, but also fall in love with the sport of soccer.
So, chat, did y'all see, was that Sam Altman or Bill Gates? I'm going to have to look it up right quick. But one of those people are talking about doing the genetically modified babies. They're trying to do the GMO babies or whatever, and they gave reasoning for it. And I said the way that they're doing that Ender's Game, JP, I said the way that they're doing that reminds me of Ender's Shadow, like how they made Bean.
Thank you. How many games are there, Johnny, total?
I posted that on Twitter today.
Games, meaning 104 Super Bowls in 1 month. This is the magnitude of the event.
When you think,
It is. It's incredible.
I'm going to go find it right quick.
it'll be the biggest sporting event we've ever had. It's like having 104, or even if you cut it in half, 50, 60 Super Bowls, right? That's okay too. Any questions?
Mr. President, can you just take us through this FIFA Pass idea that you guys are talking about here? How exactly is it going to work for ticket holders to this big event that the United States is hosting?
I'll let my guys do that because they can do it much better. And either one of you two, Nick, would you like to talk about it?
Sure. Well, Mr. President, without your leadership, this would not happen. And we came in 10 months. We have a system that's going to welcome the world. The greatest host in the history of the world is going to host the world here. Basically, this system allows folks with a FIFA ticket purchased through FIFA to go through the FIFA portal that is then going to get prioritized with the State Department, so that those appointments are going to be had before.
All right, this is what it is. I commented on it. I'll play it on after this. It says that OpenAI CEO Sam Altman and his husband are funding the creation of genetically engineered babies. By merging AI with CRISPR, they aim to fix humans while offshoring early embryo testing to evade oversight. First iterations of GMO children will likely endure immense suffering. And this article about it, and I posted, this is real life Ender's Shadow. I was like, yeah, this is crazy. But
existing appointments, so that people, when they buy tickets, they have confidence that they're going to be able to come to the games and spend their money and travel this country and do all the things that they want to do and enjoy the game. So it's an incredible vision that the president executed here. Within 10 months, we started with really not that much. And so this whole team here, with the president's guidance, has made this possible. It's going to be the greatest games in the history of the world.
Okay, do you have that?
Yes,
Not too complicated. Daniel, please. Daniel?
Mr. President, you were talking about the economic impact of this, billions and billions of dollars. This builds on the framework and the groundwork that you've built already up for a major year in 2026. Deregulation, energy independence, tax cuts, historic amounts of private sector investments. What do you envision for the 2026 economy when this event comes to town next year too, on top of everything else?
Yeah, it's just a huge economic boon to this. You know, we had a little shutdown that was caused by the Democrats, and this will make up for it many times over, so that's good. But I think it's the importance of the event all over the world. The world is watching, and it really is. It's like having, many Super Bowls, actually. Each game is almost a Super Bowl. Some of them are, I guess you could say, bigger than Super Bowls. I guess when you get to the finals, it's of that level or more.
Much more.
worldwide, I think it's got to be more. So that's great. You know, when Johnny and I made the deal, I never thought I was going to be president because I was supposed to be retired by that time. And I got a little lucky. So I'm very honored to have it. And we have the Olympics coming too. That'll be great. And the 250 is going to be right out on the lawn. You're going to have a UFC event with Dana White and his people. He's going to have the greatest card they've ever assembled. I was talking to Dana White the other day, and they're going to have the greatest card they've ever assembled.
Dana White just had to pay a $375 million lawsuit. I don't know if for the UFC fighters, it's a fund. He had to put out a $375 million fund for the underpaid and exploited UFC fighters to draw from.
Oh, Johnny, so you'll be sitting up.
So he might need to shake back at the White House. I'm going to keep it real. I know he's rich as hell still, but hey, 375.
Up there with me, Darren. We'll be watching it. So right opposite the front door of the White House. That's going to be on June 14th. So it's really going to be an amazing period of time. But this is something very, very special. World Cup. All my life I've heard about it. Yeah.
Mr. President, I have a question about Venezuela, but can I just first ask, the help of the president's always news. Your voice sounds a little rough. Are you feeling all right?
I feel great. I was shouting at people because they were stupid about something having to do with trade in a country, and I straightened it out. But I blew my stack at these people.
Well, it sounds like there's a follow-up there, but can I ask you about Venezuela? You suggested...
Is the what?
It sounds like there's a follow-up there, but can I ask you about Venezuela?
So Dana White is saying that he's going to replace all the grass on the White House lawn after they do the event there because they're going to mess it up. What they're also saying is Dana White was not letting his fighters sign outside contracts. Like it was only certain sponsorships that the fighters could take, and he had the basically backdoor deals with the sponsorship. So it was like the fighters had no choice. They had to take what they were getting paid to fight, and they couldn't make it up on the sponsorship deals. So yeah, they said Dana White was doing them bad over there. That's why they had to pay that $375.
You said there was a polyp, and I said, I don't want to hear that.
Allegedly.
You suggested you've made a decision about what you want to do next up as well. I understand you don't want to tip your hand. Was there anything you're ready to rule out at this point? Are you ruling out U.S. troops on the ground?
No, I don't rule out that. I don't rule out anything. We just have to take care of Venezuela. They dumped hundreds of thousands of people into our country from prisons. Nobody knows better than this young lady right here. She's done an incredible job with Tom Holman.
Thank you, Lori.
People. It's amazing. You know, we have a tight border right now. Nobody comes in. But we had millions of people pouring through. A year ago, we had millions of people pouring through our border. And many of them came from Venezuela, including Tren de Aragua, the gang. And I guess what I'm hearing, Christy, is that's as bad a gang as there is anywhere.
It's the worst. Absolutely, they are the worst.
I mean, they're worse than...
Honestly, I'm going to keep it real. Dana White grew that company up to like, what was it, $4 or $5 billion before they sold it. I guess he still has a large portion of it. I don't know, because he's still involved. But yeah, that $375 million, that's a drop in the bucket. I'm pretty sure he's not pissed paying that.
They're killers. They massacre people. They cut them up into pieces and they bury them in their communities where they grew up. They're horrible people.
And we had a lot of them. And many of them, most of them, pretty soon, most of them are going to be out. But they sent them in like we're a dumping ground. So I'm not in love with the people running Venezuela. I love Venezuela. I love the people of Venezuela. But what they've done to this country, and I really say this, what Biden and the Democrats have done to this country can never, ever be forgotten.
You suggested Maduro wants to talk. Are you prepared to speak with him directly? Would you commit to doing that before you order strikes?
Yeah, I probably would talk to him, yeah. I talk to everybody.
Mr. President, one Garrett, was that who you were referring to? Was that India?
Rebecca's uncle with Blaze News. So in a recent interview, you had made some remarks about H-1B visas. You said about H-1B visas. You said that there were certain talents that Americans needed to outsource to foreign workers. Could you clarify?
Until they learn that, yeah. Like, for instance, if you're going to be making chips, we don't make chips too much here anymore, but we are going to be in a period of a year. We're going to have a big portion of the chip market. But we have to train our people how to make chips because we didn't do it. We used to do it, and then foolishly we lost that business to Taiwan. Very, very foolishly, because if they had a president that thought like I did, they would not have let that happen. But it's all coming back. I think we're going to have within a few years, we're going, and not because of the CHIPS Act. The CHIPS Act was a disaster for this country. We gave away billions of dollars to other countries and other locations and companies, and all they did was rob our money.
Trump
but
funny.
Because of tariffs,
the
chips are coming back. Chip makers are all coming back, and I think within a very short period of time, we're going to have maybe even the majority of the chip making in the world will be right in the United States, where it should have been all along.
It's like, it doesn't matter what point Trump finna make, bro. He's finna throw some shit, salt, shade, whatever the hell you want to call it, on somebody or some situation. Trump, every point he makes, he has to take a jab at something or somebody, bro. It never fails. It never fails.
But because we had people that didn't believe in tariffs, they believed in them, they didn't know how to use them, we would have had nobody leaving our country right now. And instead you have almost 100% of the chips are made in Taiwan. It's so disgraceful. The good news is it's all coming back. Yeah, please.
Mr. President,
the gentleman in the back.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to just follow up on Venezuela. In these talks with Maduro, is there anything that he could say or do that would allow you to feel like he could stay with your support? Is there anything that he could say that you would be, okay, you can stay with your...
It's hard to say that. You know, the question's a little bit tricky. I don't think it was meant to be tricky. It's just that, look, he's done tremendous damage to our country, primarily because of drugs, but really because we have that problem with other countries too. But more than any other country, the release of prisoners into our country has been a disaster. He's emptied his jails. Others have done that also. He has not been good to the United States. So we'll see what happens. At a certain period of time, I'll be talking to him.
Mr. President, can I just follow up? You mentioned your voice and you were shouting about trade. Which country in particular upset you? Was it India?
No. A country wanted to try and renegotiate the terms of their trade deal, and I wasn't happy about it.
Well, which country was it? People want to know.
Why would I say that to you? I can't believe it.
Mr. President, on the World Cup, if you would, Seattle and the World Cup. The new mayor-elect of Seattle is a Democratic Socialist. Seattle has six...
Or beyond, I watched her.
Right, Seattle has six...
That's more than socialism.
Right, Seattle has 6 World Cup games. How close are you going to be watching that city with the crime in that city?
Well, if we think, and I'll have to speak to Johnny about this, but if we think that the mayor of LA is incompetent, everybody knows that. You know that I was there, I guess, 2 years ago, and we got all the federal permits taken care of. Far more complicated.
Nah, man. Lori, you said, Lori says, has anyone heard if they were working on affordable health care for next year? Man, I heard a clip of Trump talking about you're going to be able to negotiate with the insurance provider. Man, Trump want us to negotiate with the damn insurance provider, bro. What? Look, the haggle? I don't think State Farm or whoever the hell, Blue Cross, whatever insurance may cover, whether it's health, car, I don't think anybody that's covering anybody is trying to do too much damn haggling, bro. Like, I think you get your quote, and I think the quote is the quote, bro. I think that's how it goes, man. I don't think it's too much, hey, man, yeah, that's crazy.
And the state permits and the city permits. And Lee Zeldin, who's a superstar, got everything taken care of. The toughest part, having to do with the fires, that should have never happened. If they let the water come in, it wouldn't have happened, right? Do you know that people aren't building their houses yet? I mean, can you imagine that? And if we didn't go in early on, Christy, I think we can say it, well, the head of their police department said it, they were unable to handle. You would have had, not only did you have the fires, but you would have had total insurrection in Los Angeles. And if we didn't go in, and the head of, the gentleman, he said it, and he said it strongly, he said we could not have done it without the federal government. We did a great job. If we think there's going to be a sign of any trouble, I would ask Johnny to move that to a different city. We have a lot of cities that would love to have it, number one, and we'll do it very safely. So if we think there's a problem in Seattle where you have a very, very liberal/communist mayor, I would say, certainly beyond just liberal. I watched her over the weekend. Wow, that's another beauty we got there. But if we think there's going to be a problem, Johnny, can I say we will move? I don't think you're going to have this problem, but we're going to move the event to some place where it's going to be appreciated and safe.
Yeah, well, I think safety and security is the #1 priority for a successful World Cup. We can see today that people have trust in the United States when we see at the ticket sales, we sold, record-breaking figures of tickets, almost 2 million already sold out of 2 million that we've been selling. This is because people, they know that they will be coming here and they will experience a safe and secure World Cup. This is the responsibility, of course, of the government,
You said how much it cost if you broke an arm and you don't have no insurance. It's $500 to go to the ER off top. Off top, they got this $500 to even go in there, man. So you break an arm, you probably at a few thousand. You know what I'm saying? About $2,500, man.
Secretary Norm, of everyone, and obviously we will. We will discuss. We are working together. We have a task force for this, and we must ensure that all fans coming from abroad or being here, they can experience a celebration of coming together of the sport, and this goes only with 100%.
You said 10K, and to admit they having kids for 10K. You can have a damn baby for about 10,000, man. Ain't no way they want 10,000 for a broke arm.
We are communicating with all these mayors about what their responsibilities are. They know the safety and security of these events is their #1 responsibility, and we'll be there. The president's always there to keep Americans safe, but he also makes sure the people that know their responsibilities and that they're prepared to host these events and do so in a safe manner.
Is there a timeline for that would have an impact?
There was some news this morning from an Axios report that Senator Ted Cruz was laying the groundwork for a potential 2028 presidential run. Could I get your reaction to? Could you see yourself supporting?
Well, he's a friend of mine. I haven't spoken to him about that. It's a little early. It's 3¼ years. That's a long time. But he's a very good guy. He's a very good friend of mine. You remember we had quite a campaign against Ted. And it worked out quite nicely. Let's see, where are we? But I'm not that surprised to hear that.
Mr. President, on the tariff exemptions, you had some recently on a variety of different goods. I'm wondering, are you ruling out going forward no more exemptions on products? You're mentioning a disagreement earlier, so I'm wondering what you think.
Hundreds of billions of dollars in tariff money. We're going to be issuing dividends later on. Somewhere prior to, probably in the middle of next year, a little bit later than that, of thousands of dollars for individuals of moderate income, middle income. We're going to pay down debt. We have a lot of money from tariffs. If we didn't have tariffs, this nation would be in serious trouble. And we've taken in tremendous amounts of money.
Yeah, I knew I wasn't tripping, man. In Arkansas, they saying it costs $8,300, man. They say, all right, for vaginal delivery, the in-cost network is $12,300, man. While out-of-network does cost $27,000, man. A C-section about 14 racks, and out-of-network is 34 racks. So it look like your ass might want to be in network, man. Yeah, it look like your ass might want to be in network, man.
And you know what's more important than that? We've protected our businesses from being raided like we did with the chip business. Now we're bringing them all back. But we had 100% of the chip industry, and then they left. They went mostly to Taiwan and South Korea, but mostly Taiwan. And they have almost 100%. And we're going to have, within a short period of time, a big percentage of the chip business are coming back because of tariffs, because they don't want to pay the tariffs, because the tariffs will be very steep if they don't come back, and they've committed to come back. As you probably heard, Apple is now up to $700 billion. We have NVIDIA, $600 billion. We have tremendous amounts of money pouring in. Our country has become amazing again and really, really rich again. I will say this. We have a decision we're waiting for.
Apple paid $600 billion, giving $600 billion, right? Apple just came out and talking about they finna have a digital ID too. So Apple finna have everybody passport and they damn driver's license. All their IDs, man. And they giving the government $600 billion. Y'all see how this shit work, man?
A very big decision. The numbers that we've taken in, if you talk about investments, is trillions, not with a B, not with an M, millions, but trillions of dollars. I can't imagine having to give that money back on something that we're allowed to do. And the ones that are fighting us are countries, largely. They're backing countries that have been ripping us off for years, using tariffs to rip us off. And now we're able to defend ourselves. It really is a matter of national security, because economic security is national security. So I think you're going to see another thing happening. I think you'll see food prices. They've come down very substantially since Biden. But I think you're going to see food prices coming down very substantially.
Saudi Arabia, tomorrow you're hosting Saudi Arabia. Are you planning to sell F-35s to Saudi Arabia? I mean, and also, are you looking at doing a similar security agreement like you did with
No, I am planning on doing that.
You're
They want to buy. They've been a great ally. They've got to like us very much. Look at the Iran situation, what we did in terms of obliterating, we obliterated their nuclear capability. Yeah, I will say that we will be doing that. We'll be selling F-35s.
Can I clarify something you posted on Truth Social last night? You urged House Republicans to vote in favor of this Epstein release bill they're going to vote on tomorrow. I just want to be super clear on your position. Do you want to see that pass the Senate? Would you sign that bill if it gets to your desk?
I do want to. Here's what I want. We have nothing to do with Epstein. The Democrats do. All of his friends were Democrats. You look at this Reid Hoffman, you look at Larry Summers, Bill Clinton, they went to his island all the time, and many others, they're all Democrats. All I want for people to recognize the great job that I've done on pricing, on affordability, because we...
I don't think dude asked you about Bill Clinton. I don't think he asked you about not one Democrat. I think he just asked, would you put pen to paper, bro? I think that's all he asked was, would you put pen to paper, man? Listen, man. He's scrambling and scraping for shit over here, man. I can't tell a lie right now, bro. Trump, you making it hard, bro. You scrambling and scraping for shit right now.
I will say that we will be doing that. We'll be selling F-35s.
Can I clarify something you posted on Truth Social last night? You urged House Republicans to vote in favor of this Epstein release bill they're going to vote on tomorrow. I just want to be super clear on your position.
What's
up, you want to see that
Daphne?
pass the Senate? Would you sign that bill if it gets to your desk?
I do want to say, here's what I want. We have nothing to do with Epstein. The Democrats do. All of his friends were Democrats. You look at this Reid Hoffman, you look at Larry Summers, Bill Clinton, they went to his island all the time, and many others, they're all Democrats. All I want for people to recognize the great job that I've done on pricing, on affordability, because we brought prices way down, but they're going way lower, on energy, on ending 8 wars, and another one coming pretty soon, I believe. We've done a great job. And I hate to see that deflect from the great job we've done. So I'm all for it. We've already given 50,000 pages. You do know that. Unfortunately, like with the Kennedy situation, with the Martin Luther King situation, not to put Jeffrey Epstein in the same category, but no matter what we...
Why would it deflect from the inflation going down? Why would it deflect from, you know, the great job? I'm just saying, if it's all Democrats, you know what I'm saying, like, shit, what the hell do they got to do with the great job we've been, you know what I'm saying, your administration has been doing? What's going on?
We give, it's never enough. You know, with Kennedy, we gave everything and it wasn't enough. With Martin Luther King, we gave everything and it's never enough. We've already given, I believe the number is 50,000 pages. 50,000 pages. And it's just a Russia hoax as it pertains to the Republicans. Now, I believe that many of the people that some of the people that we mentioned are being looked at very seriously for their relationship to Jeffrey Epstein, but they were with him all the time. I wasn't at all. And we'll see what happens. What I just don't want Epstein to do is detract from the great success of the Republican Party, including the fact that the Democrats are totally blamed for the shutdown. You know, they cost our country hundreds of billions of dollars with that, at a lot of inconvenience. So
y'all know what, bro? Like, I can't even get mad at Trump, bro, because this is what he does, bro. Like, I can't even get mad at him because it don't matter what question you ask him. You got like a 70% chance that Trump is finna just ramble for a little minute, man. Let you know about the great job he did at the border. Let you know about how he should be the Nobel Peace Prize winner. Let you know about how he ended 9 wars. It don't matter what you can ask Trump. You can ask Trump, does he like Nike Techs or quarter zips? And he's gonna end up telling you about everything I just mentioned, bro. So I can't even be mad at him, bro. This is what he's been doing this shit for a long time.
I'm for any. I don't. They can do whatever they want. I'll give them everything. Sure, I would. Let the Senate look at it. Let anybody look at it. But don't talk about it too much because honestly, I don't want to take it away from us. It's really a Democrat problem. The Democrats were Epstein's friends, all of them. And it's a hoax. The whole thing is a hoax. And I don't want to take it away from really the greatness of what the Republican Party has accomplished over the last period of time. Yeah,
Mr. President, the shutdown is now over. Administration officials have said when the shutdown is...
Somebody ass in trouble, man. Appreciate that, Blackish. Somebody in trouble. That's why he keeps saying that we're looking into him closely because, listen, if the Senate, he's gonna tell the Senate not to pass it. He knows it's gonna pass the House. He's gonna tell the Senate not to pass it. He already told them prior to saying just let it all out, forget it. He had told them to leave this shit alone. So if it passes, the investigation that he has, quote unquote, into the Democrats is going to stop it from coming out because a judge is going to have to see that. A judge is going to have to see, they're going to be like, well, it's an active investigation into these people, the people that he named. And that's going to keep it from coming out. A judge cannot release it if it's an active, ongoing investigation. So it's all the big, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that the Republican senators are going to pass it, but even if they do, that's the fail proof.
And they'll reevaluate the farmer relief. Now we have the deal
that's why,
with China.
That's why he can confidently say that he'll sign it. He will sign it because after he signs it, that's going to pass the buck off to the judge. Well, I signed it. We already seen this happen before. This is going to be the same thing. Y'all don't remember this happening before a couple months ago. Thank you, Big Niche. Like, this is what's going to happen, man. He's going to sign off on it. It's going to go to the judge. Because of the active investigation, the judge is going to have no choice but to deny it. That shit is over with. It's cooked.
So is the administration still looking to dish out farmer relief now that the government is back open?
Yeah, I'm always going to help our farmers.
So are you still looking to do
I would do that, yeah. If they need relief, we'll be there for them. We're going to always be for our farmers.
So what are you waiting
Yeah,
for?
please, in the back.
President,
Mr. President, just speaking of the economic impacts of FIFA and possibly moving to another city, some games if you feel there's crime, is there like a timeline that you would do that? Because these cities, there's sponsorships, there's economic impacts for these communities.
Sure.
Is there,
Well, you know, the governors are going to have to behave, the mayors are going to have to behave. You know, in the case of California.
Because you got to think, you got to like, look at the time. And Trump said that he gonna look into the Democrats at the same time he was like, you know, forget it, release it all. You know what I'm saying? It's man, listen, man. These folks got this AI over there, man, this high-powered AI, man. They running these things through these AIs, man, and these algorithms, and they coming up with the best possible way, man. Look, Trump, all you gotta do is say this and then kick it off to the judge, man.
You have a problem.
Yeah, he can say release all of that shit.
You have high crime, and you have a place that just suffered great fires and everything else, and they didn't do a very good job. And if we didn't go in from the crime standpoint, you would have had a disaster. It was not going to be handled properly. It wasn't able to be. The head of the police said as I said, without the federal government, they could not have done it. So here's the story. I love Los Angeles. If they want help during this, I would love to send in National Guard or whoever's necessary to help them. I want it to be great. I'd love it to be in Los Angeles. I love the place. It's a natural for Los Angeles. If we think there's going to be crime, if we are obstructed by the governor, and maybe he won't obstruct, maybe it'll be great. But I'd love him for him to call and say, you know, we'd like to have some extra help. Because if there's even a hint of a problem, we want to get in there before the problem occurs. We want to make it totally safe for Johnny and FIFA and all of the great people that are going to be there. And I think that's going to happen. I would be honored to help California if they're going to have a problem. And if they think they're going to have a problem, they should say so. We can be in there in 24 hours notice and do a great job.
I really don't think the file's been wiped clean, Carlos. I don't think the file's been wiped clean. I'm going to keep it real with you. I think it's somebody there, somebody has to go to jail. See, we got to realize that the only person that got immunity for anything right now is Trump. So if they do something with them file, wipe clean or whatever, and it gets out, somebody head's gonna roll. Somebody ass going to jail. Especially with Trump already indicting Comey and what's the other guy he indicted? John Bolton. Man, they ass, man, listen. Let them play with them Epstein files if they want to, man. They ass going to jail.
By the end of the year, by the end of the first quarter.
Well, I think this, if they would tell us now, they're not going to have a problem. Because if we go in, they don't have a problem. Look at D.C. There's no crime in D.C. anymore. And D.C. was a mess. If they want us to go in, I'd like them to tell us right now. But if we go in, there will be no problem. There will be no crime.
What's the message then to like local businesses who are considering sponsoring?
Tell your governor to ask for federal.
Yeah, Carlos, you said he can pardon them. He can't pardon them. Technically, yes, he can. He's the president. He can. But in public opinion, he cannot pardon those people, bro. He cannot pardon those people, bro.
They're all help. We'd love to help them.
Also potentially launching strikes in Mexico or putting American troops or American personnel into Mexico to deal with the
Would I launch strikes in Mexico to stop drugs? It's okay with me. Whatever we have to do to stop drugs. Mexico is... Look, I looked at Mexico City over the weekend. There's some big problems over there. If we had to, would we do there what we've done to the waterways? You know, there's almost no drugs coming in through our waterways anymore.
Yeah, what I'm saying, Carlos, is not about it being federal. He can pardon them. I know he has the authority to pardon them. What I'm saying, in public opinion, he cannot pardon anybody on the Epstein list, bro. He cannot. That would tarnish his legacy. He would never make it to the... He trying to talk about putting his head on Mount Rushmore with the greatest, you know what I'm saying, with the president, you know, Mount Rushmore. He wouldn't make it to Mount Rushmore. That would tarnish the Mount Rushmore. That would tarnish everything, man. Everything, man. The people wouldn't give a fuck about how secure the border was, and people wouldn't give it. Listen, the people wouldn't care about none of that, man. None of that.
Isn't it down like 85%?
It is, sir.
I don't know who the 15% would be. It wouldn't be you.
No, that's for sure.
No, I think it's been...
Tons and tons of
You would say that's a big signal.
Absolutely.
We have almost no...
Yes, it would, Carlos, because that'll cook his kids. If his kids trying to do go in the office or something, man, that'll cook his kids. Trump cannot pardon anybody on the Epstein list and not ruin his public perception. I'm talking about totally ruin it.
Drugs coming into our country.
You see how they acted when they moved Ghislaine. You see how they acted when they moved Ghislaine. They didn't pardon her. They moved her to a cupcake facility and everybody went nuts. If they pardon somebody that's actually on that list, man, oh yeah, that's gonna tarnish Trump legacy, man.
Country by the sea, by the waterways, and you know why? Okay, I mean it's pretty obvious. Would I do that on the land cars? I would absolutely. Look, every boat we knock out, we save 25,000 American lives. Not to mention the destruction of families. These families are decimated forever. The mother, the father, the children, they never recover really from it. You know, when you lose somebody like the way they live. If you lose them, but the way they die is horrible. So when we knock out a boat and we save 25,000 lives, that's great. Now, do I feel the same way about the corridors that they use? We know every one of them. We have every one of those corridors under major surveillance. We have nobody coming in through our southern border. But we know exactly how they get their things here, how they get the drugs here. Fentanyl, cocaine. Colombia has cocaine factories where they make cocaine. Would I knock out those factories? I would be proud to do it personally. I didn't say I'm doing it, but I would be proud to do it because we're going to save millions of lives by doing it.
Would you only do it with Mexico's permission, though?
I wouldn't answer that question. I've been speaking to Mexico. They know how I stand. We're losing hundreds of thousands of people to drugs. So now we've stopped.
Hey chat, double tap the screen, shut a live out, man. We 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. We need a quick 25 subscribers, man. If it's your first time in, we go live every single day over here talking politics, entertainment, and current events, man. Come hang out with us, man. Double tap the screen. We are still chasing 100 likes as well.
But we know every route. We know every route. We know the addresses of every drug lord. We know their address. We know their front door. We know everything about every one of them. They're killing our people. That's like a war. Would I do it? I'd be proud to. I'd probably go into Congress and say, hey, and you know what? The Democrats and the Republicans would both agree. Unless they're crazy. And they are a little crazy on the Democrat side. But we have lost hundreds of thousands of people a year death. And that's not talking about family destruction. That's talking about that. And much of it comes through Mexico. So let me just put it this way. I am not happy with Mexico, okay? Thank you very much, everybody.
All right, man, that's the end of Trump, man. We finna get into this Steven Crowder. Steven Crowder said he end all SNAP benefits, change my mind. We're gonna watch this episode, man, and see what's going on. I feel like ending all SNAP benefits, I mean, nah, man, nah. The kids gotta eat, man. Even if their parents drug addicts or whatever's going on, man, the kids gotta eat, man. They might not have that. I know some fiends that one thing for sure, two things for certain. They might sell everything in there, but they're not gonna sell them stamps. They're gonna make sure them kids eat.
Low-income women in this country, okay, who are not on SNAP, 40%. You know what it is for those on SNAP? 57%. So working class Americans with kids not on SNAP struggling are paying to make other people fatter. How can we have a country with that? That's what I say, cut it, give out a few food stamps for a period of time, a few months until you get back on your feet. Otherwise, get your ass to work. Look, I can get caviar. Would we take caviar off fucking SNAP, pardon my language? Isn't that ridiculous? So should some Cherokee be able to get...
Not gonna lie, caviar on SNAP is crazy. I be seeing people come through with the EBT hit. They be going get the big king crab legs. I'm talking about big dumb crab legs, man. Now they eating caviar and shit. Yeah, that's crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
Caviar on Snap while the other person's eating canned ham. Does that seem right?
No, a turkey person would probably eat spam. It's a favorite.
That's fair. That's fair. If they do they like spam? Are they fans of spam?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't like either. Welcome back to Change My Mind, where we reason through.
All right, Anton. Have a good night, Anton.
Positions on seemingly controversial topics. And during our most recent and longest government shutdown to date, there were a lot of disruptions in the United States, including air travel, national parks, military, but no sector was talked about more, or one could argue, than the subject of SNAP.
I was out for the single mothers that got kids. Now, what can we do? We can't.
Come on, Steven Crowder. Now, you know you could have picked somebody from a different community. Hey, I always want to put the black people clips up there when they talking about Snap, bro. If y'all notice that, like, they always want to use clips of black people. I'm sure Steven Crowder probably put at least one clip of, you know, somebody that ain't black. I think I see one. Well, he for sure put the black people first. Crazy. And they from Memphis. And she got a bonnet on, bro. Like, come on, bro.
To feed our kids. Let alone, if we do have jobs, again, what can we do?
Around 42 million Americans depend on the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, also known as SNAP.
And who the f they think celebrating these motherfucking holidays with no food stamps? I don't know where the f we gonna get the food from.
They showed that the Republicans don't actually believe their own BS when it comes to populism, when it comes to funding SNAP.
I will be at motherfucking Walmart with my steel toes on and my motherfucking helmet, and I dare of trying to stop me from walking out that motherfucking store with my grocery.
Trump, it ain't nothing like niggas been knew how to steal. Like, please, I'll go steal a whole turkey and a ham. Like, what up?
It'd be natural to assume that a subject inspiring such strong feelings would be amongst the most necessary, virtuous programs allocated in the United States' $7 trillion budget, right? But surprisingly, the truth is, it's not.
Bro, it's no way he didn't put one white family on there, bro. Not one other race, straight black folks, bro. Black folks aren't even the majority of SNAP recipients. Oh my God. I gave him the benefit of the doubt, like maybe he'll put one. He didn't put one other race there, bruh. Crazy.
Which is exactly today's topic of discussion that took place at Oklahoma University in this installment of Change My Mind. The conversations ranged from productive-ish to cordial to a little or a lot off the rails. But you may be surprised by which students or canines had the most to offer. So sit back but hold your chair tightly for this latest installment of Change My Mind and Snap.
Bro, Steven Crowder, I'm not gonna lie, bro. That's crazy, bro. I just gotta say it, Steven Crowder, bro. Like, really, bro? Really, bro? You talk about all of these illegal immigrants getting all of these free benefits and shit, man. You talk about, we know the numbers. We know what groups of people get the most SNAP benefits, man. And you don't put nobody else on there. Nobody. Not one.
You know what? Let's get the off-the-rails stuff out of the way first.
I can't fathom this idea that, like, Trump is...
What happened to the $10,000 on the cards and shit, man? What happened to the $10,000 food stamp cards and shit, man? What happened to all of that? That shit's just out the window when the government shutdown comes.
Instead of cutting aid to, say, stop funding the war in Ukraine, stop sending so much aid over to Israel, stop giving the rest of the world so much money, we're giving so much money away like just candy to everybody. Stop getting paid by these lobbyists. Stop paying yourself salaries even while the government shut down. I think the stat I saw was we're giving Israel enough to where every citizen of Israel gets basically like $1 million a year.
We're giving like 3 to 4 billion to Israel, which we should stop, but over 100 billion a year on SNAP.
But the idea that we're giving Israel all of this money, it's not even our country, and then we're telling Americans, hey, get back to work, peasant. You can't have Coca-Cola, you can't have candy, you can't have a nice meal for your family.
You absolutely shouldn't have Coca-Cola or candy if you don't work. The $3 billion to Israel that we should also cut has nothing to do with it. It's less than a 50th.
I just think we should solve all of those other extraneous problems before we start telling American citizens we can't have nice luxuries. Yeah, you should work for
sure
your
you
food
can
and
if you
all
work
that
for
stuff.
it. If you're looking at that car and it doesn't work, going, not the engine, not the transmission, let's fix the rear, the bolt on that hubcap. That would be the money to Israel. By the way, I say cut all of it, but it's not even close to SNAP, let alone if you get to what illegal immigration, the social safety nets, the welfare state that we have is so much astronomically higher. It's so much higher. It was horrible grammar. I'm tired. I've been here for about 5 hours at this point, and I just had to sit down with a furry and act like I didn't think it was degeneracy. But we're at the point now where we have to actually deal with the problem, and this is one of the primary problems. And I think that it's a red herring to say, yeah, but Israel, great, cut it too. It's not even close, but we do have to bring up one of the... So I think we agree on principle, and I agree with you on all. We don't disagree on anything. Cut all of it. You want Coca-Cola? Go buy it.
The deal you turned down from Ben Shapiro's corporation was worth $50 million.
Sure.
So
the company employs about 30 people.
A lot of money. And we're still funding Israel. We're still funding all of these militaries across the United States. We're in a deficit of our own
military. We're funding the military of the United States.
Well, we're in a deficit for our own, national protection.
It's not even close.
Because of how much we're giving to them. So I do have questions though.
Okay.
Where do you make your money? Who funds you?
It's entirely funded by viewers. Yeah, about 85% is people who choose to subscribe. So no outside money from donors, from nonprofits, and we do one sponsor a day that makes up about 15% of revenue.
Okay. Based on the demographic of SNAP recipients that I'm thinking of being single mothers, and based on the cancellation that you went through in 2021, do you see how that is kind of
No, I don't. I don't see how it's relevant to subsidizing a government program that's a failure and rife with fraud.
I just think it's interesting that you have put someone in a position of potentially needing to rely on that and then turn around and dunk on the other people who also need to rely on it.
I think it's potentially interesting that you believe things that you see in the media and have no idea is the situation that she is. You think she's on SNAP.
Y'all think Steven Crowder telling the truth about how he's funded? I believe him. I believe he gets about 85%. He got a few million subscribers. Sponsors, he probably busting their ass up for them sponsorships. I'm not gonna lie, those sponsor ads or whatever, he's probably getting some bank off of those. But I believe him. I don't think he got any, just behind the scenes big money pushing it into it. I believe he does rather well for himself across social media platforms. Y'all double tap the screen for me, shut the live out. We are 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal, man. We go live every single day over here talking entertainment, current events, and politics.
SNAP and expert, but I'm not allowed to discuss it because that's the mother of my children.
You're rich. She's not going to be on SNAP. I'm glad you...
Russian funding? Press 1 if y'all think he get Russian funding, man. Press 2 if you do not think he gets Russian funding, man. I don't think Crowder getting Russian funding, man.
The mother of your children.
I'm not going to be discussing that issue. And I think it's a very feminist thing to then go, well, since I can't actually argue this point, let me go to something personal when they're ushering you out.
The full divorce thing, that's a whole other topic. I wish we would have talked about that instead. Because I think
biggest failure of Ronald Reagan, yeah.
I think that would have been a lot more interesting, but
I know, but it's the sign. We have to talk about the sign. I know it's a feminist thing to want to talk about whatever you want to talk about, but the sign is about SNAP.
I brought it back in.
Did you bring it back in?
Yeah, I just think it's interesting that a lot of women end up on SNAP from situations like that.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, this was later in the day. Not all of the conversations were taking place in good faith or were productive at all. And surprisingly, very few people had anything to disagree with once they knew the money on which we were spending these resources for SNAP. But this conversation was different from most we've had in the past, and I would say productive. And this young lady is lovely as a button. Please welcome and be kind to Carter. Nice to meet you, Carter. Please grab a seat. And do you mind scooching in just so we can, for the camera, they can see? I don't know how familiar you are with these installments, this series, but I just try and set people a little more at ease. I'll tell you what it's not. It's not gotcha. It's not scoring points. It's not dunking. It's not meant to be clipped for reels, though people will do that. Was created almost a decade ago to have authentic conversations in good faith and see where we agree, disagree, and are able to present our opinions on controversial topics.
Absolutely.
It will not be uploaded, cut out of context like a Jon Stewart type thing. That being said, controversial topic, and I'm at my wit's end. I'm fed up with this. The more I look into SNAP, my position on this is end SNAP completely, outright, wholesale. If we want something like food stamps for bare necessities, create a separate program. It's so beyond repair and so corrupt. I think in 2025, done with SNAP. If you disagree, you're welcome to change my mind.
Okay, let me give you some context. So I come from Adair County, Oklahoma. When I was growing up, it was the #1 poorest county. We've moved up in the world, and now we're the 3rd poorest county.
Good for you.
I know, out of all 77, yay!
Yeah. It's baby steps.
Yes, I'm a Cherokee citizen. Cherokee Nation is very prevalent in my little bitty town. Even with Cherokee Nation, we still depend on SNAP.
Yeah. Why?
Yes. Because it's a very rural, very small town, and we have a lot of small jobs that pay minimum wage, so people are not able to afford rent and eat.
Okay.
We heavily have to depend on horticulture, agriculture. We have, a Tyson factory. We do so much of that kind of work, but that does not pay well. So, we're paying to keep the lights on, not me personally.
No, I get it.
Appreciate that super chat, Ronnie says, why his hairline look like the back of a hand, man? You on Crowder ass, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out chat. We are 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal, man.
People in my community are paying to have the lights on, but they still need to eat.
Thank you,
There's
Ronnie.
still food insecurity in rural towns. And I think one thing people are forgetting is those rural towns. They're seeing the majority, but they're also not looking at the minority.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
I think some people in the government are looking at the numbers and not the people and the geographical areas of where they're talking.
Forgive me, what do you mean by those in the government? Because the government position has been overwhelming support for SNAP to the point that it's ridiculous, where the #1 purchased item is sugary sodas. That's $100 to $130 billion a year, $9 billion of which just go to soda alone. You can get everything on SNAP. You can get caviar on SNAP. You can get Halloween candy on SNAP, which I think is immoral and I think is ridiculous, which is why if we want to go back to a food stamp program for bare essentials, well, that should help people who are in need, but it sounds to me like you're talking about a nation, or the Cherokee Nation, and this neighborhood, or community, was most poor to 3rd poorest. It sounds to me like you're almost advocating for perpetual use of SNAP.
So I think Steven Crowder talking about bringing like the block cheese and shit back. You know what I'm saying? He want to bring back the block cheese. Thank you, Too Strong.
Which we know has been very prevalent in the Native American community. And would you say that's made the Native American community stronger or weaker? How's it doing?
It has made it stronger, but since we're not always recognized, it's not building back up.
What do you mean?
Like, we're in a very poor rural area, but we're not able to change it dramatically because we're not having more people invest and spend time and work more in our rural areas because they're going to bigger and better places.
Why do you think that other rural areas are able to do so? There are other rural areas that aren't that poor, and certainly not for decades at a time. Why do you think it's so specific to the Native American community, who get far more, disproportionately more government benefits and contribute less? Why do you think that is?
Sometimes there's a rich person who gives a big amount, whether it be scholarship or funds. They're coming in. Sorry, I'm shaking.
No, it's okay. By the way, it's okay. I still get nervous all the time every time I do this. If this helps you, let me present you my position.
Okay.
Would that help?
Yes.
So, okay.
Yes.
And just let me know too if you want, because I don't want to dominate the conversation, but I also know you don't sit and talk as much for a living, so if it helps. I would say that it has kneecapped and irreparably damaged the Native American community. I would say the Native American community has been handicapped. They're not a particularly industrious people because they don't have to be, and because they are ultra reliant on government services. And I would say that let's grant your scenario, which I wouldn't say is necessarily true in most scenarios, but a wealthy person coming in and investing in a community. Sure, that can be helpful. Yes. Those people would be very, very hesitant to invest in a community that seems to be dependent in perpetuity forever on government assistance with no interest in getting off of it.
Okay.
That would be, I would say that. I would say that there's a reason that not only is that one of the poorest communities, but Native American reservations, despite having advantages in a lot of ways, pretty much everyone looks like an episode of Cop.
Okay, so Ronnie coming at Carlos. Lala say, here we go, Ronnie versus Carlos. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you, Lala.
It's bad. It's bad. Let's just be honest, right? They don't look beautiful. They're not nice. And we've been doing it this way with government assistance and subsidies. Maybe do it a different way. Maybe if you cut people off and go, no, you got to start doing what everyone else does. You got to start toiling by the sweat of your brow. Maybe they would become more industrious, because I don't think it's helped the Native American community. And I say it because it's a microcosm. There's a huge over-reliance on government subsidies, welfare, social safety benefits in the Native American community. But now apply that at large, that's what happens with SNAP EBT. People stay on it, 60% of people on it are able-bodied. We can't reform it at all. If the government can't cut Coca-Cola from SNAP, then we can't cut anything. Enjoy your debt. You're a lot younger than me. If we can't have work requirements 80 hours a month, which is what's opposed by the Democrat Party, then we can't have any requirements. That's why I say we got to do away with it wholesale and do something else. Do you think we should change it to, at the very least?
Oh yeah, I said thank you, Carlos. What do you do? Oh, I thought I had missed the couple super chats. I thought Carlos someone. Well, thank you for your support, Carlos.
Get rid of
anyway,
soda, treats from SNAP.
I would say soda and more health conscious things, but not to get away with it altogether.
Well,
to kind of compromise with SNAP.
Well, so here's the thing: you can't compromise with SNAP because you can't cut soda. Right? There was a huge outcry of people going, that's a violation. Hey, you can't determine what these people, everyone deserves treats. First off, not everyone deserves treats. Second, for me, it's pretty simple. You pay, you choose. I pay, the taxpayer, I choose. Milk, eggs, meat, produce, and fabric softener. Otherwise, get to work. Is that fair? No, that's not fair?
There should be some choice in that.
I don't think there should be any choice. Our soldiers get MREs and they have to pay for them. Why should someone who's able-bodied, choosing not to work, get anything better than our soldiers? Are you aware of so SNAP, because you mentioned this is true. If you go to Amazon, right? SNAP EBT, okay, right here. So I pay taxes, right? And there are a lot of Americans who work and pay taxes, who are poor, low-income Americans, right? Yes. Not on SNAP. You get 50% off your Prime membership. You get unlimited groceries for $4.99 a month. Let me show you what's in the groceries. Lavazza coffee, $25. Rockstar, Ghost Energy. Hey, let's go down to snacks and treats. When you say choice, these are the choices right now that tax. Pre-filled pumpkin buckets of assorted Halloween candy. Does that seem like helping someone with a tough break? And how do we make the case to low-income Americans that they should fund that? Because they are.
Well, a lot of them have children.
Okay, so do the people paying taxes who are working for a living.
Okay, that's correct.
Right? I mean, because people say it's taken from the rich, given to the poor. And you look obviously very svelte, and I'm sure you know that obesity is a problem in the country. It doesn't affect you. Probably affects me more than you. I have some that I could lose. But the obesity rate for low-income women in this country, okay, who are not on SNAP, 40%. You know what it is for those on SNAP? 57%. So working class Americans with kids not on SNAP struggling are paying to make other people fatter. How can we have a country with that? That's what I say, cut it, give out a few food stamps for a period of time, a few months until you get back on your feet. Otherwise, get your ass to work. Can you understand why? And by the way, I wasn't raised wealthy. And I know those people. I work with these people. I've spent my whole life with these people who, out of pride, would not take SNAP or EBT. And when they find out what they're paying for, that's a really tough pill to swallow. Yes. So I just say do away with food stamps for essentials for a very limited amount of time, work requirements, right? Meaning I think it should be more than 80 hours a week. I think to get anything you should be working, 80 hours a month, sorry. It's 20 hours a week. Yeah, I think it should be a full work week and you get a very temporary relief. But I don't think it can be through the SNAP program. This is not, I didn't know this until yesterday. I didn't see how I can get caviar. Would we take caviar off fucking SNAP, pardon my language? Isn't that ridiculous? So should some Cherokee be able to get caviar on SNAP while the other person's eating canned ham? Does that seem right?
No, a Cherokee person would probably eat Spam. That's a favorite.
That's fair. If they do like Spam, or they fans of Spam?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't like either. This is sturgeon caviar. Pardon my language. What the fuck? Like, how are we at this point as a country when we're talking about being fiscally responsible and people who aren't working, who are able-bodied, are getting caviar, or potentially through SNAP? Could we agree that maybe that's a broken system that we have to do away with it, start from the ground up with essentials? And I say less choice.
Okay, when you come from that standpoint, I have to agree with you.
Okay.
Kind of slightly, because you're cornering me in that aspect.
Well, I ranted because you said it would help you. So now the floor is yours.
Yeah, 105 pounds as a grown-ass man in this game is crazy. You need to eat some peanut butter and do something, bro. 105 pounds as a grown-ass man is insane, bro. Double tap the screen, shut a live out chat. We're 25 subs away from the next sub goal. We go live every single night over. If you having a good time in here rocking out, press 1, man. Double tap the screen for me and shut a live out. 25 subs away from the next sub goal. Press 1 if you think Ender needs to gain a little weight, man. He's 105 pounds, man.
Passion.
Yes.
Passions. I'll give you that. Starting from the ground up is very hard. I just hope there isn't a trickle-down system to it. Never mind.
I think we agree on what I think. To be fair, I think you didn't know how bad it was. Is that fair?
Yes.
I think you thought, oh, man, someone who's struggling, who's getting bare essentials. I don't think you realize that people who can work, who choose not to, are getting fatter on this shit, all done in the name of equity.
Okay, to kind of branch off of that, do you think some of those people are mentally defined? Do you think they have mental illness? Do you think
So, and I understand there's a difference with that. People, like, for example, veterans, but there are other ways to deal with those. There are other ways to deal with, and we can categorize those, but we're not. So that's, again, why I say if you defund this to the tune of hundreds of billions of dollars a year, you'd actually be able to allocate the funding more effectively to the people you're talking about who need it. I do agree that we should help handicapped veterans. They've served their country. I do believe that if people are actually mentally handicapped, whatever, adjudicated mentally defective, whatever term you want to use, that they could use some help. I think we could also help by removing some of the red tape for charities. I did volunteer work with these special needs. They would all live in homes together. These were private charities. They do a friendship club thing every, I think it was Tuesday of the week, where we bring in food. And a lot of that is hard because of the red tape. But I think that we need to separate that. That's not who's typically using SNAP.
Okay.
And those people end up being shortchanged because that person is treated the exact same as an able-bodied baby mama who eats Halloween candy. Yeah, I think that's fair. I'm impassioned because I had someone here try to fucking do a bomb threat, so I'm a little bit ornery. And I got a furry who's looking to argue with me.
Yeah, I thought the furry was going to cut the line, and I got a little scared for a second.
Yeah.
I've been here since noon.
Oh, have you? Well, I don't know. What do you want me to say to the furry? It's okay. It's just between you and me. It's weird, right? Should I just go guns blazing and say, stop being degenerate?
I think everyone has a right of free will.
Sure. Fine. I just don't have to act like it's normal. You put on a mascot costume. You know the scariest thing I ever saw in my life? Since I think this has been a friendly conversation. I'm trying to put you at ease. Hopefully this helps, but I'm being a little silly. One of the scariest things I ever saw, and I mean like testicle disappearingly scary. I was at a flea market in a rural area of Michigan, and it wasn't just a furry, but it was a furry in a full mascot outfit who put on top of it slacks and like a t-shirt to be a furry during Casual Friday. I was like, that is a disturbed individual. That was one of the scariest things. And just looking through, like, oh, look at these old books. Haggling. Scariest moment of my life. Also when someone tried to kill me, but it's neck and neck.
Yeah. Those two things. Almost stepping on a snake, seeing a furry.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you, Car. I appreciate the perspective. And do you know what percent you are Cherokee? Or 2%. 2%.
I grew up there, so I got to learn a little bit more than most people do. So I'm very, very passionate about it.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you're at school, and I'm glad you're bettering your situation, and you're walking proof.
What's up, Chris?
That people, regardless.
Man, she said 2%, bro. She did all this fight, man. She said 2%. I ain't gonna lie, that's wild. I ain't crap. Y'all double tap the screen, shut a live out for me. SNAP is EBT and food stamps. Yeah, SNAP is the same thing as the food stamp program over here for us. What's a furry? Somebody who dresses up like an animal and shit.
Circumstances can better their lives and manifest their own, their own future.
Absolutely.
So I really do appreciate. I mean that. I appreciate, because I know it can be tough if you come from a rough spot.
Oh yes.
Thank you, Carter. Thank you very much. Hopefully it helped. I did dominate the conversation, but with silly horse shit.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Carter. God bless. Be well. Yeah, as you can see, I did a lot more talking there than is typical for Change My Mind. But you know what? It's healthy to be nervous when you're speaking publicly. It's like the #1 fear in the United States. And speaking of health, I want to take this chance to tell you about Foundation, the only other company that I've ever to navigate with the mascot head. What's your name, sir? Can you spell it for the camera? Just say you consent to talking.
Yeah, Twistle, Twystal.
Okay. Is this...
Bruh, is this dude supposed to be Sonic the Hedgehog? This is a furry, man. This is a furry right here, man. This Sonic the Hedgehog little cousin, man. You know what I'm saying? This Sonic the... See, that's why I can't even let my kids say they Sonic the Hedgehog no more and run around, man. I don't want my kids to end up with a damn high school mascot on his head walking around, man. I don't want my kids to be running around with mascot heads on, man, talking about they Sonic the Hedgehog.
Name or your biological name?
I prefer not to.
Okay. But you do consent to sitting down and discussing, and you're not going to go to YouTube and say, that's not really me?
No.
Okay, all right. So, Crystal, I don't know how from... Twistle?
Twistle.
Twistle. Does that have any significance, like the name, or is it just a cool name?
Yeah, so it comes from my interests, which are geology and meteorology. I really enjoy those, so it's Twister plus Crystal. You can see we're in a 20-ish.
Who cares if this a fur? That's just a damn distraction, man. I'm with the teachers on this one, man. Hey, you couldn't come to school with crazy colored hair or none of that shit when I was in school. It was a distraction. Your afro was too damn big. It was a distraction. Your ass was a little too musty. It was a distraction. This furry shit is a distraction, man. Get that shit off campus, man. Get that shit out the school, man. If they want to be a furry, do that shit on your own time, man.
Oh, okay. What kind of owl is that?
Huh?
Do you know what kind of owl that is?
I don't know.
No?
I just thought it was a cool shirt.
I like owls. You know, the owls, the thing that's cool about them, if you've ever actually seen them, if you've ever actually watched them catch a rodent, they can be completely silent on approach.
I've heard about that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Did you...
Alright, some furries only wear like the little hoodies, like the little hoodie outfits with the little ears and shit on them, or some of them will wear like the headphones with the little ears and shit. This is next level furry right here. I think you gotta beat like 2 levels, you know what I'm saying, and damn near get to like the second boss. After you pass the second boss, you unlock the mascot headgear, you know what I'm saying. That bad boy is breathable and everything, you know what I'm saying. He never takes it off. He even washes his ass with it on, man. You gotta get to the second level, beat 2 bosses, and you unlock the mascot furry, man.
You ever seen the movie Guardians of Ga'Hoole?
I have.
It's awesome. I still say to this day the best animation. Sorry, I'm tired, so I'm a little scattershot. Twistle, I don't know how familiar you are with this series or these installments. What we do, let me just kind of set you at ease. It's not designed to be gotcha score points on the topic at hand. This was pre-Debate Bro, pre-YouTube Shorts when it started, and clips, like, it'll be uploaded.
Man, they did this when you was in school. Carlos, that's because you went to school somewhere else, man. I was in Arkansas, man. This shit was not going on in Arkansas, man. Do you know how quick they would have rolled that shit the hell up out of my school when I was there, bro? Like, it wouldn't even have been no debate, no ifs, ands, or buts. If you argued about it, man, your ass wasn't going to come back for a few days. You come back after a few days still trying to do this, furry that, your ass going to get sent to, the alternative school across the street. Your ass show up to the alternative school, furry this, furry that. They just gonna tell you to stay home, man. They wasn't gonna play that shit at my school. I'm just gonna keep it real, man. Not at all.
You know, provided we both have a conversation in good faith in its entirety, so you will not be taken out of context, even if it's a controversial topic. So, this topic right now, we obviously just switched it. is I think that in 2025, considering the abysmal failure and corruption, it is beyond repair. We absolutely need to wholesale.
Bro, like, look at that furry hat. That's a real mascot hat, bro. Like, that thing ain't cheap, man. He probably got like $300 headset on, man. Like, they should have just stepped in the game like this shit was designer or something, man. They shouldn't have tried to make it a whole. They should have act like it was damn designer or something, man. I know that headset's not cheap, man.
Cut, snap, done. And if anything, put something else in its place. If you disagree, Twistle, you're welcome to change my mind.
I mean, I don't know much about this topic, so I would not. I prefer not to give any comment. At least when they invited me here, they said it was mostly going to be about like the.
Yeah, a Burger King head is not a furry, bro. A Burger King head is different than a furry, bro. Like, a Burger King head is different. You know what I'm saying? Like, alright, you know, it's certain things that you like. Alright, Spider-Man, you know what I'm saying? Like, when the people out there in Vegas or wherever acting like Spider-Man and shit, okay, they got a purpose, you know what I'm saying? Like, the Burger King outfit, that's to turn the chat up. That's a purpose, man. Dude wearing this shit every day, bro. He sitting in class like this, man. I don't know, bro. This is crazy.
Oh, okay. So, Twister, what would you like to talk about? And this is, just to be clear, this is something you really do. You're not trolling, right? Because there are people who do that.
I'll say, like, one of the biggest misconceptions about furries in general is that we think we're animals. I do not think I'm an animal. I know I'm a human. There are a small subsection called Theorians that identify spiritually with animals.
Okay.
That's one of the biggest misconceptions I've seen, is that people assume that we think we're.
Okay. And by the way, just because I have to get the mic close to you, if you feel this, just know that's the microphone. I'm not trying to knock you. I just have to get it close. So then, what is it to you? Why do you do the whole furry thing there?
So to me, it's again kind of like a reflection of my interests. This is a character that I designed myself. Like, I didn't make this costume, but I had an artist draw out kind of what I had in mind. Again, the name comes from Twister and Crystal, because I wanted to be able to express all of my interests all at once. The color scheme comes from weather, pretty much. Blue rain, yellow lightning, gray, black clouds. And the shape in the middle of the forehead, the yellow one, I don't know if you see that. It's supposed to be a type of crystal called a Japan Law twin.
It kind of looks like an N64 era heart, because it's like a polygonal heart.
Yeah, it kind of does.
So I just thought it was like all love. But, okay, let me ask you this, Twistle. And the good thing is people won't know your real identity, so hopefully you can shoot me straight.
Bruh name is Twistle. Twistle, bruh.
You one of these people you've discussed, or what percentage of your community would you say also have some type of sexual proclivity or it being included in their identity as a furry?
So I would say that I can't put like any percentage on it, but it's not necessarily an insignificant number.
It's a pretty high number, isn't it?
I mean, I don't know, so I can't say any number.
Okay.
I honestly don't know, but I do know people that do have that side.
Yeah.
For me, I choose to stay away from it for the most part in terms of art, the costume.
Well, wait, for the most part. So that means you probably experimented a little bit with some of the sex stuff.
I have friends that are into that side, and I pretty much stay away from it.
Well, you keep saying pretty much? You have like an experience early on in college or something like that? No. Again, no one will know.
I've never had any kind of experiences with the costume, and I do not want to.
You don't want
Partly because this is extremely expensive. Don't want to get it dirty.
It is a messy endeavor.
So I definitely stay away from not safe for work side.
Okay. Now do you have a full outfit that goes?
What the fuck you mean? It's a messy endeavor and get dirty. What are they? Are they playing in shit? What are they doing?
Along with the head, or do you just wear the?
I don't. No.
You
I
don't
just wear the head. I have hand paws.
Yeah.
And
is that a cost thing where you kind of do it in installments and build it?
You can, or you can do it all at once if you have enough money.
Okay.
Depending on who you want it from.
Okay. Let me ask you, what type of intersect do you think there's with like LGBTQ? Because a lot of people think, it's now just a modern expression of gender. And I will tell you this, a lot of people view it as degeneracy when it's an expression of gender or sexuality, because those things should be kept in private.
What exactly are you like asking?
Well, you know, when you look online and you look at the furry community, there's usually a lot of the intersectional sort of camaraderie there with LGBTQ, and they sort of tag it along to it. So whether you intend for it to be or not, that is the perception that's by design from a lot of activists in the furry community.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that LGBTQ is not at all an insignificant proportion. There are.
Thank you, Ronnie. Is that mascot Dorsey?
I mean, what they do is not my business, so can't really comment too much on that.
Yeah, but what if the furry community is seen as sort of a quasi-ambassadorship of LGBTQ, because it's all about breaking down societal norms, gendered norms, you know, healthy approach to human interaction. And I'm going to tell you, I don't love it. But I'll have a conversation. But I also don't love people's positions on SNAP and on illegal immigration. I think that I think we want to do a costume party, but I think walking around in society where people have to adapt to it is uncomfortable, and I do think it's pretty abnormal.
Well, let me say this.
Do you understand that, though? Yeah.
Furries generally do not just walk around this in their everyday life.
Right.
I only wore it here today because I was asked by the president to bring it.
Okay.
They reached out to me a few days ago asking if I was interested in coming down, and I was very hesitant.
The president of what?
Turning Point USA's OU chapter.
Oh, okay. So they asked you to.
Yeah.
So are you involved with them?
No.
No. Do they just kind of know you on campus as like a furry person?
No, they saw me on campus because I was with a group of friends on Halloween. We were just walking around campus handing out candy. They took a picture of us and posted it saying, imagine if people thought they could be animals, how scary is this? And I left a comment saying, well, I actually don't think I'm an animal.
Yeah.
And then they ended up messaging me asking if I was interested.
But you have friends who think they do view themselves as quasi-animals, right? You say in the community?
They exist in the community. None of my friends personally fall into that category, but a very small portion do they say they have a spiritual connection.
Yeah, or a sexual one. Like you said, it's not an insignificant portion. Do you speak out against it a lot? Do you feel that you're tarred and you're kind of lumped in with the same lot? Because it is incumbent. If you're just saying like, hey, it's a costume and it's art. You know, I like Halloween. We do sketches. But when you have a chorus of people saying, hey, this is just as legitimate as heteronormative styles, by the way, we're tagging on with LGBTQ, isn't it incumbent upon you to say, no, that's kind of degenerate to try and thrust a sexual preference like this into the public spotlight?
I mean, I'll say what most cases of that happening are in a private setting. Whatever they do is not my business, and so I would just leave it to them to do whatever.
Sure, but if someone is wearing it out in public,
yeah,
it is everyone else's business. Like, hey, why are you doing this?
Wearing it out in public is one thing.
I don't know. I think every campus has a different chapter and a different president for that chapter.
Versus like
right, but it's associated with the destruction. You know this, right? I don't want to talk.
Nah, Erica the CEO. She the CEO. Lala.
In circles, the destruction of heteronormative sexual behavior, and people are kind of at the point where we're like, yeah, we're less accepting of it because we live in an era where everything has become acceptable, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's
oh well, it's a non-profit. She probably is the president.
For society. Costume is one thing, but identifying that way and everyone around having to go like, yeah, let's just treat this like it's my friend Doug is not really a good thing.
I mean, I don't identify as this like outside of whenever I wear it.
Okay.
Whenever I wear it is only to things like social meetups, like when other people are there, or conventions.
Yeah.
And conventions, I'll tell you, there's a side of them that almost nobody gets to see.
What to do,
There are some
Tomcat?
seriously positive interactions.
There's some seriously disgusting ones too.
There are.
I ended up accidentally at WeebCon. Does that ring a bell? You know what that is?
I do not.
Oh my gosh. I was going to an Easter thing at Gaylord Hotel, and it wasn't Easter, it was WeebCon, and by the third S&M Spider-Man / furry, I was like, I hit the fire exit with my kids. So if someone sees that, right, you say they don't see the positive interactions, but they see the freaky stuff, right? Why do you think that's always on public display? Why do you think if I go on X or Instagram, there's always some weird quasi-sexual energy with the furry community, and how accepting do you think that Americans should be of that?
Well, you could, what I would say is, if something like that is happening out in public, it's more likely to make the news. For example, like I'll tell you.
Well, no, but if they do it in private, but then they're dressed as a furry in public. People are going, oh, well, that's one of those people because they've made their identity being a furry, and that also is part and parcel of their sexual identity.
Yeah,
right?
I would say that's where that misconception of everybody does it because it's a sexual thing comes from. Like, for example, whenever I was at a convention in Dallas, I did a presentation on how to find your own crystals. I had about 80 or so people show up. I had about...
Hey, chat, double tap the screen, shut the live out. We're 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal, man. Can we get a quick 25 subscribers, man?
100 crystals on display. I gave away half of them. Everybody left home with one. And it was strictly educational, and it was amazing. Yeah. I had a really awesome time. People learned about rocks. I got to talk about what I was passionate about for an entire hour to a group of people that had no idea what that was beforehand.
Yeah.
And there is a huge side of that that just largely goes unnoticed.
Okay. So it's kind of more like a Rocky Horror Picture Show thing for you, where it's like you're into this and you think it's a reflection of art, and it's just something you do. It's not really who you are.
Yeah, it's something like, I'll tell you, the number of times I've worn this this semester, like, is, I can count on one hand. It's not something I do often at all, and it's only with other people.
Sure. What do you mean with other furries?
Yeah.
So you don't like wear this into class and expect everyone to act like, yeah, just no. And you would agree that like that would be weird and rude, and people weren't accepting of like, you can't just come in this fur helmet in the middle of class.
I mean, it would be unusual. I wouldn't say anything, but it would. It's not what most furries do.
It's not what most furries do. They kind of keep it separate. Let me ask, what do you get out of this that you wouldn't get out of like, because you say it's art, like that you don't get out of like say a painting, or like, you know, making a movie or a poem?
Well, for one, I don't consider myself to be creative at all. I cannot draw, I cannot paint, I have a very hard, I mean, I've even tried like music composition, which I can't do, even though I play instruments. I just don't see myself as creative enough to be able to do it.
Okay, so it's a reflection of art without the creative element?
The creative aspect comes from being able to like design it yourself.
Yeah.
So like, yes, I conceptualized this entire thing through an artist.
Okay.
I had an artist kind of draw out what I would envisioned. And I decided I like that. It's a reflection of my interests, my weather, my rocks, and just went from there.
Let me ask you this, and actually, I will say, I wouldn't quite say you're changing my mind, but you've clarified some things. I've had furries, by the way, on the show who they were there to distance themselves from some of the, you know, a lot of not funny enough, but coincidentally enough, not a lot of death threats and radicalism comes from the furry community on the left. I know Charlie Kirk had to deal with that too, but it sounds like you're saying this is a separate component, like people who might have a hobby. Community, right? It sounds like you find a sense of community. The sense of community is supposed to ultimately enable you to function more effectively and be less lonely in society at large. If you had a son, and he said he wanted to become a furry, and he was a young guy, would you be concerned because of the less tasteful components of the community, or would you think like, hey, it's great, it's just like getting in soccer?
I mean, I would offer like words of caution, just like be careful with these kinds of things. But ultimately, I'd support him in whatever choice he chose, and that's kind of what my parents did. They know, and they're actually very supportive.
Yeah. Okay. Twistless, maybe too personal. You don't have to answer. Okay. Hopefully, I've been respectful enough. Do you have a girlfriend or? Is it a girlfriend you've never met because she too is in a furry mask?
No.
Nothing
like that.
Okay. So you know what? Okay. Yeah. All right. What's the biggest misconception about the furry thing that you would say? If you can right now tell the world, hey, furries are not X or Y.
I would say furries do not think that they're animals.
Okay. But some do.
A very tiny proportion. But like you're taking a very tiny proportion and applying it to everything.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm an animal. I know I'm a human, and I know I'm a human in the way that I made me.
Right. Okay. Let me have a final question, because I have a dog, the sweetest dog on the planet, but I guarantee you if he saw you like this, he'd go ape shit. If a dog attacks a furry, you don't blame the dog, do you? Get it? If the dog is unnerved, it must happen all the time.
I've never had any kind of experience. For the most part, they're kind of scared.
Yeah.
And I mean, my cats kind of freaked out the first time they saw
Okay, there you go. So take a cat that had 120 pounds of a cape, and my dog would not like it. He didn't like some people where they were working on the lawn with gaiters over their face, and it's the one time I saw him not like it. This would drive him nuts. So as long as you understand that, I don't want furries going around blaming having dogs euthanized because they're like, hey,
I've never
this is
heard
weird.
of any kind of event like that happening.
Oh,
it's not impossible.
Oh, I guarantee you it happens all the time.
Oh, and one more thing I'd like to clarify.
Yes, Twistle.
So furry conventions in general are actually one of the best things for local charities. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but usually every convention will be raising money for some kind of charity. A lot of the times it's like a local animal shelter.
Yeah.
For example, one convention I attended in Pittsburgh, 2024, actually raised about $100,000.
That's great.
Over that for a local, I believe it was a shelter for senior dogs.
Okay.
And every year they do different ones, do different charities usually within the area.
Cool.
These things raise tens of thousands of dollars.
All right. Well, I think that's a great thing. So, all right, well, Twistle, thank you. We got hopefully if you can see the hand, we got other people who want to come up. But thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for illuminating the subject of furrydom, I guess.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Be well.
Alright, man. That's the end of the episode, man. Dude's name was Twistle. Crazy. But look, chat, we're going to take a call or two, man, before we get up out of here. And I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. Be sure to double tap the screen, share the live out. We are still 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. We will be live in the morning, man. Be sure to have all notifications on, man. But if somebody wants to call in, I'll take a call or two before we get up out of here, man. Yeah, y'all gotta make sure to subscribe. If you don't got the notifications on, make sure it's on. Make sure it's on all. You know what I'm saying? Even if you can't rock with us, you can stop by and double tap the screen and keep it pushing. Straight up, man. Nobody wanna call in? That's cool. How I feel about the SNAP benefits? Well, not even how I feel. What I think would be beneficial to us moving forward with the SNAP benefits would be a restructuring. I don't agree with everything Steven Crowder said as far as what will go into that restructuring, but I do agree that it needs restructuring. There should be no point to where people have $20,000 on their food stamp card. You know what I'm saying? $20,000. They just buy a piece of gum or a couple of things to keep the card on, and they just keeps getting loaded. There should be no place. You know what I'm saying? 20, 30. I think I seen one person had $60K on a food stamp card. Like, nah, that's crazy work. Caviar, all of that crazy shit. Yeah, that's wild to be buying on food stamps. Yeah, I feel like it needs a restructuring. It does need a restructuring. But the people who say ban drug addicts from getting food stamps, I don't agree with that, because some of them have kids and the kids deserve to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, the kids do need to eat. What we gonna say? Get the kids to the state? I mean, damn. Yo, we need 10 more likes to get to 100 likes, chat. Can we get 10 more likes? $6 a day per child. I didn't know how they made the math. I didn't know how they did that math. Find a way where Snap can be traded for that. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I feel like it needs to be something, man. It needs to be something. The kids. I feel like, too, while we having this debate, I feel like school lunch. I think school lunch should be free. I really think school lunch should be free across the board, across the country. Just go and make school lunch free. I feel like that would be beneficial. What's up, Kaylin? Y'all didn't like when I said make school lunch free. Y'all left when I said make school lunch free. Oh well. Humble Pie said you would give me $100 in food stamps for 50. I would not bite that bone and incriminate you or anybody else in this chat. We just gonna act like you didn't say you got $100 worth of food stamps for $50. Okay. But yeah, we do need to get the free school lunch. SNAP does need to be restructured, though. Restructured, man. Ronnie says, I don't think school lunch should be free because you had to pay. I mean, I had to pay as well. I'm paying for my kids' lunches right now. But at the same time, it's like, just because we have to pay doesn't mean they shouldn't be free. You know? I seen Jerry Rice went and paid like almost $1 million on the school lunch tabs. Like he paid like almost $700,000 to clear up this. Like I think across 100 schools, he paid the school debt off for the lunchroom. It was like $700K. Shout out to Jerry Rice for that. Shout out to Jerry Rice for that. I've never met anyone in 43 years with more than $400 a month that doesn't use it monthly. I done seen some crazy balances on some food stamp cards, man. I done seen some food stamp cards with some racks on them. Dorsey, get that dog together, man. What it do, Dorsey? I called you earlier, man.
Hey, what's going on?
I called you earlier.
Oh, you did? Oh, man. I was at In-N-Out Burger, man, getting something to eat, man.
Yeah, I had called you before I got on the show. I was like, man, let me call Dorsey because earlier you had called in and the voice chat was messing up, so I reset the live, and I was like, damn, I ain't even called Dorsey. He didn't even come back in the live. I was like, you probably think I ain't want to talk.
Oh, no, man, I don't be thinking that, man. I know you be having technical difficulties and shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just called in. I see y'all talking about a subject that is close to my heart. Don't touch the EBT. Leave it like it is. They should be giving out free lunches to the kids like they used to all kids, to all children, regardless of whatever their income. You know, the adults don't need to be fed, but the children need to be fed every day. That's just how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Our farmers were the main suppliers of most of the schools. And then what Trump did, he cut off the schools from purchasing through Doge. They stopped buying the produce from the farmers and so forth. Because remember, Michelle Obama used to push vegetables and fresh fruit and all that to the kids in the cafeteria. And then when Trump came in, I think it was his first administration, they cut out that free lunches for the kids and using as far as Farmers Associates. They had this thing with the farmers where they would buy their produce for the schools to make salads and so forth. So, you know, one hand was washing the other one. So I think that rather than us importing foreign vegetables and foreign beef and all that, we need to go ahead and start getting our stuff back from our farmers like we was doing originally. You know, America first. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, straight up. She said $2.75 for lunch, $1.50 for breakfast. Big Niece said $1.50, $2.75 for lunch. Then Terry says last year at Walmart in my area, someone left a receipt. No lies, over 20 grand in food stamps and 30 grand in cash.
Okay, was that person from the Ukraine or from some Eastern European country?
Man, I don't give a damn where they from. I remember
Yeah,
it was a
because
time
remember
where
they
you
was
used to
giving-
have to use it or lose it with the stamps. I remember people used to be like, I gotta go and use my stamps before they get to cutting them back. Nowadays, shit, they don't give a fuck.
Well, you know, a lot of them refugees when they came to the United States, they gave them all kind of benefits which they don't usually give to Americans. For Biden, that's what Biden messed up the system, because he just started handing it out. Like, you know, the Ukrainians was getting $110,000 credit loans in California to buy houses. Did you know that? See what I'm saying? So, you know, you can't get the government to give you $110,000 credit loan, low interest and so forth in order to get a house. But why is it that we letting people who really not even American citizens, who supposedly after this war is over with, they supposed to be going back home? See, that's the thing that most Americans get mad about, but they don't understand that, hey, some of this stuff was set up by presidents without Congress authorization. They just did it out of their own. You see where I'm coming from? So that, just like when Biden was handing out money and so forth, hey, Trump could do the same thing. Any president that comes in, they could do it for American citizens. If you can do it for the foreigners, why can't you do it for us? That's what I get angry about. Then these people come here. Now, this is the part that I find really weird. I'm here in California, right?
Right.
And guess what I'm starting to see now? I'm starting to see homeless Ukrainians and shit.
Man, hell nah, it ain't no homeless Ukrainians out there, man.
I'm telling you, you want me to take pictures and send them to you?
Hell
I'm telling you,
nah.
they got homeless Ukrainians out there. Because you got to understand, the people who ran away from the Ukraine, some of them was homeless to begin with. But when they brought them over here, they got they on the come up. Just like with the Venezuelans. You know what I'm saying? When they was putting them up in them expensive hotels and so forth. Well, they did the same thing for the Ukrainians. I remember I told you a couple weeks ago about the Iranian kid who did EBT. And so, you know, we got to start vetting some of these people. We got to start vetting some of these people. And like I said, if Trump is going to send these people home, well, you ain't sending them home quick enough. And, you know, that's my whole thing. Straighten up the system, because ain't nothing wrong with the system. It's just the people are abusing the system. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't see how somebody got $10,000 on their EBT card. You know, that right there should be a red flag to anybody. See where I'm coming from? Now, you know, I'm not doubting the person's word, but man, come on now. How much was them Venezuelans getting on their EBT card? About what, 5,000? You know what I'm saying? And it was depending on how many kids they got. So I can understand there's people who abuse the system, but most of those people aren't Americans. I mean, you know, because for most Americans, man, they go through all our records. You know, if you got a car, they don't allow you to have a certain amount of things and so forth, the benefits.
If you got a car.
So they say if you got a car.
I didn't know that. When they start doing that?
Shit, out here in California, if you got a car, you don't get no homeless benefits. They say, well, you got a car, you can work, you can do Uber and stuff. It's depending on what state you're in. And then they got a cutoff age of where you can receive stuff. Like for me, since I'm over 60, I get all of my benefits, you know, no questions asked. And you know, that's why, you know, I'm stickling for it, because I understand it works for me. Because, hey, I paid into the system. I'm getting out with the system. But when they let these people come over here who ain't never put nothing into the system, why do they get the benefit from us? And first of all, your kids are overpopulating the schools, which is depriving our children of a good education. Because every time the teacher got to stop and explain something to somebody in a different language, using I think it's an assistant teacher, sort of like a translator now. So, back when we was coming up, English was the primary language. Well, out here in California, they got like 6 different languages out here that they're teaching these kids, just depending on what class they're in. So, yeah, I think things should, EBT, I don't think it should touch. I think that our system should be vetting people.
So how do you feel about remittance payments? How do you feel about immigrants coming over and sending all their money home?
I think that should be a no-no. I think that right there should be no. No. Because think about it. If you was to take your money and stuff it in a mattress, right? And the federal government finds out about it, right? They can fine you, and they can say that you're taking money out of the system. Do that. That's like hoarding money. You can't do that. They're saying that you're taking money out of the system. So if they're taking American dollars, especially if it's benefits, and sending it across the ocean.
It's all kind of people. No. It's all kind of people with money and diamonds and shit in they safe. What's the difference between having it in a safe and in the mattress?
First of all, the money is supposed to be kept in circulation. Okay. See, a lot of stuff that y'all don't remember. Remember when people was hoarding pennies? You remember that?
No.
People was keeping. Okay, and then there was a penny shortage, copper shortage. That happened in the 70s. That's what happened with us. So what they did, the government started passing laws talking about you couldn't just keep pennies, because what they was doing, some people was getting the pennies and melting them down for the copper, and was getting more money for the copper than they would for the actual penny itself. That's why you switched over to zinc. Keep them people from doing that kind of stuff. So, like I said, taking money out of circulation is it used to be a law. It used to be a federal law against that. Money. They were saying that you weren't supposed to be doing that. Now they might have changed the law, but as far as I know, that law was still enabled. It's still in force. Depends on who the person who's doing the enforcing the law.
So what you gonna do when
they have all kind of laws?
What you gonna do if they confiscate your paper?
Hey man, they come and get whatever they want. I'm gonna get it right back. I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? They can come get what they want, but I'm gonna get it right back. I know the tricks of the trade. I know how to do the paperwork. When you know how to do paperwork, ain't nothing that's denied you. I'm just keeping it real. When I went back to college with my son, he was like, "Dad, why are you going to school?" I said, "Cause I'm finna get this money, son." He was like, "Why you get the money?" I said, "Son, I'm gonna get this money. I got $5,000 right off the bat."
You say switch over to a new caller. We ain't got nobody else calling in here, Ronnie. Thank you, Ronnie.
Yeah, this is what I
eating a bowl of cereal, chopping it up here.
Yeah, I mean, everybody always, I used to cuss them out. Remember you said, Dorsey, you got to calm down, right? So now I'm calmed down, and, when I start making sense, but when I'm talking crazy, everybody want to hear what I got to say. But then when I start saying stuff that's reasonable, now, I think some of these people out here for thrill seekers. You know what I'm saying? And most of the people who know me and who come on this show, they know Dorsey. They be like, "Oh shit, Dorsey finna go off," and that's what I'm known for. But every now and then, I got to throw y'all a curveball, and I got to talk like a person with some sense. And that's what I'm doing tonight.
All right.
As far as, like I said, like my whole thing is, and I'm gonna leave it at this. if you got an opinion, you are free to express your opinion. You can't sit up here and tell me I can't express my opinion. That's not your place. It's not your show. Show. Get that straight. So, all you little people out there who just come in here, mosey in here to troll and all that, hey, go ahead, do what you got to do. But if you ain't going to call in, then don't be trying to shut down my game. You know what I'm saying? Them the main people who talking about don't do snap and all this, but you the main people who got it. The same people who benefit from it.
All right.
You know where I'm coming from?
Yeah, somebody just called
but anyway,
in.
hey, man, you doing a hell of a job. Somebody called in. Everybody,
Yeah,
I know the
somebody
regulars,
just called
so,
in.
you know, I just got involved. Huh?
I said somebody just called. I'm finna call
But
them
Dorsey's
back.
gonna keep it. Hey, that's good. Call him back. But Dorsey gonna get his EBT. I don't care what y'all say. All right. I'm taking my friend in tomorrow.
Call from
Ronnie.
What it do, Ronnie?
Man, Plug, I know we ain't gonna sit up here and act like Dorsey knew what the hell he was talking about and all that filibuster he was just doing right then and there. Are we crazy? Have we lost our damn mind?
What do you disagree with what Dorsey said?
Oh, where do I begin, Plug? First and foremost, he's sitting here talking about, school lunches should be free. Okay, all right, okay, I hear you on that. He says, we eat our food stamps. He's talking about reparations. Okay, all right, yeah, give all the handouts, just to put it on one lump category. Then he wants to sit here and say, anybody else coming over to America who's a different nationality rather than just being black or whatever, you can't have this, you can't have that, you can't have all these different programs and all these different pots of money and ability to be able to take all these loans out, which we haven't fact-checked him on any of this shit. So I'm sitting here trying to figure out, where are his sources? Where is he getting all this information that he's speaking so intelligently about? Just because you live in California doesn't mean that you're a credible source for anything that's going on.
Dorsey said he lived this shit, man. Dorsey said he lived this shit, man. And he said Dorsey said he lived this shit, and he said he didn't say nothing about reparations. He said you put words in his mouth. He didn't say nothing about reparations.
I was speaking in general, talking about handouts. Name one thing. Stop trying to act like Dorsey ain't ever come up here and asked for reparations before. Come on now.
He said tonight, though, we talking about SNAP and EBT, man.
Okay, he's talking about handouts pretty much. But he's sitting there saying he wants the handout. He said, also, too, with that, he said, I'm going to school to go get that money. So it's cool when you do it, but it's a problem when somebody else does it. Like, really? How you going to sit there and say all that in the same breath? You sound like a hypocrite. But what I was saying before, Plug, is you know how you can be in a room and not know what the fuck's going on?
Dorsey said he paid into the system. Dorsey said he paid into the system, man. Dorsey say he's 60-some years old, man. He said
he's taking more from the system than he's paying into the system.
Man, Dorsey said he worked for 40 years, man. Dorsey said he worked since a little boy for 40 years, man. He earned it.
He said he worked as a what?
He said he been working since he was a little boy, man. He done put in 40 years into this system working, man.
So he finna recoup everything. He finna recoup it all, right?
That's what he said he did it for, man.
Put money in so he can get it, so can't nobody benefit from any of the hard work that he put in.
He said they just came over here.
Who just? He's talking about all the documented and undocumented immigrants. Because the thing is when he's saying it, he's lumping all immigrants, whether they're undocumented or not. He's lumping them all in. He's saying all these different, they shouldn't be here. It's a no-no. Something they're trying to figure out. How you going to be
Nah, he said they're not supposed to be able to send money home. He said they're not supposed to be able to send he said they're not supposed to be able to send the remittance payments home out of the country.
Here's my question. What side is Dorsey on? Is he on the right or the left? Because he's sitting there
Dorsey
talking
said he an independent.
Independent? Well, ain't no independent ever going to become president. So you need to choose a side.
I don't think Dorsey want to be president.
You need to choose a side. You said what?
Dorsey said he been doing this independent shit since the 80s, man.
How's that been working for him?
He in California. He in California living a good life.
So guess what? Everything that he just said out his mouth don't count either. It's literally like he just talking, because it's like here and speak on the same thing, the problems in this country with the Trump administration, but in that same breath, he wants all the benefits to using the system and the socialism that you're getting with the Democrats. So it's really you're trying to play both sides of the fence. Nah, you got to pick and choose, or you got to find a way to meet in the middle. You can't just find what works best for you, what works for Dorsey. How can you abuse the system and not let anybody else have the ability to be able to use the same benefits that come from that system? It sounds kind of selfish, and I was getting tired of hearing it.
I think Dorsey on some shit like a lot of these people come over here and they don't have work visas, so they can't work to make money. So by default, they have to draw from the system.
And that's bullshit, because you have undocumented Americans spend and put money into Social Security, Medicare. They put into all these other different pots, equating to billions of dollars.
Yeah, but
it's literally out there.
Yeah, but we just watched Steven Crowder talk about that, man, and he's saying even if you count the money that the legal the ones that do pay taxes, even if you count that money put in, we're still net negative 150 to 450 million. He dropped a little QR code where you can fact check all of his sources. He said he got like 40 sources on there that aren't.
All I'm saying is, dude got a big ass forehead, but I was listening to what he was saying. He's saying up here he's upset about food stamps. At the end of the day, I am not the biggest fan of food stamps for people to just spend the rest of their life on food stamps, never use it as a springboard to be able to support yourself and support your family. Hey, use this system as you need it, then find a way to be able to support yourself. But this man sitting here talking about, man, they're getting caviar on food stamps. They're getting this on food stamps. The benefit of food stamps is if you're struggling, you have the ability to use it if you qualify for it.
Yeah, Carlos, hold on, Ronnie. Carlos is saying not true, we're a net positive, look it up. Yeah, but Carlos, you gotta understand that's the people that come over here that's documented. Like a lot of the ones that are working under the table, they're not paying no tax. They might pay taxes when they buy something, you know what I'm saying, by default, but they're not paying taxes. Then we gotta
paying taxes, period.
Right, and then you said what?
Oh, unless as Dorsey said, you put your money under the mattress, you hide it from the government.
Oh yeah, hold on. Let me respond to Carlos right quick. He was like, net positive with the illegal immigrants giving. I'm not saying Dorsey said that. Steven Crowder said that. Oh, you talking strictly illegal? Yeah, nah, I don't believe that. Especially when you count the hospital visits and shit. Because when you go to the hospital visit, like just going to the ER, that's $500. Steven Crowder got it on his website to where it's one hospital just said they needed $120 million for 1 month from the illegals coming in there. This is one hospital needed $120 million for 1 month. we spread this shit out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I believe it. That 450, that 150 billion on the low end sounds probably about right if you count medical. But you know, people feel different about medical because it's like, hey, if somebody comes in the medical emergency room, you gotta treat them, or you're not gonna treat them. I mean, yeah, you treat them, but there is abuse of the system. My bad, I didn't mean to play that. Go ahead, Ronnie. I spoke on that earlier. Even when Steven Crowder said, even when Steven Crowder, my last point, even when Steven Crowder made that point, I said, yes, the hospital visits are overpriced. A bag of saline that you can buy fucking cheap as hell by the box is probably gonna cost 15 times that when they give it to you in the emergency room. So, and these hospitals are getting the money from the government. You know, yeah, it's coming from the state, but the state has to request it from the feds. So, long story short, the feds is paying this shit. You got the floor, Ronnie. My bad.
You sure?
Yeah. I'm going back and forth with Carlos. No, I'm going back and forth with Carlos.
Oh, you good, man. You good. Man, I'm just sorry. I really just came on here because I couldn't take listening to Dorsey any longer, man. I heard you get up. I heard you go get some food. I noticed he was talking at you rather than talking to you, and he responded for you a couple times. I'm just getting to the point now where I'm just like, ain't nobody fact checking this dude, and he's putting out all this information like it's gospel, and it's almost hypocritical. And I'm just sitting here, I'm like, man, I can't let it go on. I don't know if Lala was being sarcastic or she's really agreeing with him. To each your own. I'm sorry, I just couldn't listen to it no more. I don't know. Did you agree with what Dorsey was saying? I'm putting you on the spot, Blood. Did you agree with what the hell he was saying today?
I mean, shit. For the most part, I mean, yeah. I mean, shit. I believe I think we need free school lunches for the kids. I did say we should change SNAP. He said keep SNAP the same. That's where we disagreed. I said we should change it. And as far as the remittance payments, I mean, it's kind of like, hey, look, man, that's not helping America at all.
Well, honestly, he said that we should actually change that because he said.
At first, he said keep it the same when he first came on. When he first came on, he said keep SNAP the same, don't change nothing.
Yeah, he did say that, but then also he mentioned, he said we need to feed the children, not feed the parents. Like I said, it's hypocritical all across the board. What are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to do? Because if we're talking about just feeding children, I feel like we can walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. We can feed people together. That's what the program is for. It's income-based, needs-based. So if the parents are eating, the children are eating. Children are eating and the parents are eating. Like, I'm like, last thing you want is a pregnant mother, she can't get food because we just want to feed the children. Why can't we do both?
I mean,
that was the thing that was kind of like, you were hearing.
Correct. My thing is about having the outstanding balances, the crazy balances, like, you know what I'm saying, like 7,000 on the card, 22,000 on the card, 10K on the card, like.
They ordered that though.
Yeah, but as long as but they used to. It used to be. I remember a time where people used to be like, I gotta spend all my stamps before they cut it back. Nowadays, as long as you go spend some money on the card, it'll keep reloading. That's how you see these TikToks going around where people calling, checking their balance, and they got 60,000 or 20,000 on it because they're buying one item a month and just letting it roll over and keep rolling over.
And that's what I was talking about.
And what they'll probably do, and if y'all want me to be all the way transparent and give y'all the sauce, like what they're probably gonna do is they probably selling it to a restaurant or a food truck.
Of course.
That's probably what they're doing.
Of course.
They probably running the balance up. They're probably running up to 20, 30,000, and when they want to cash out 15K, they'll just go to a restaurant or a food truck and wipe down, $5,000, $10,000. Man, get them a quick 5K.
But this goes to your point, because you were talking about that you wanted food stamp reform, and then Dorsey said that he didn't want food stamp reform. Why would he want to fix something that he knows that's broken that he can benefit from? And that's the reoccurring tale of hypocrisy that's going on. It's cool when he does it. It's a problem when somebody else does it. If you an undocumented immigrant, or you someone who came from out of the country, and you're using the same system that he can take advantage of in the same type of way, he has a problem with. And me listening in as the listener, I see it for what it is. I'm like, yo, hypocrisy across the board. Sit here and want to take advantage of education and school and food stamps and all these other different programs, but you got a problem with it when someone else tries to do the same thing.
When we say get money and stay out of other folks' business, we sound crazy. Hold on, they saying get money and stay out of other folks' business, it sound crazy. I would say that, bro, but then how hypocritical is that when we in the immigrants' business about them getting $10,300 in food stamps getting put up in luxury hotels? That say stay out their business. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I'm saying, as far as I'm concerned, if y'all not going to fix the program, and you're willing to try to benefit programs in a different type of way, who are you to hate on somebody else that's taking advantage of the system in the same type of way or another different way, or taking advantage of the system more than you could possibly do? If anything, just speak out for the system being broken. See, that's why me, on my end, I'm all for food stamps, but I don't like the aspect of how people try to use the system long term. Use it for what it's there for, to be able to get back up on your feet, job, go ahead and offset your funding for what you're spending on groceries and food and everything, to be able to get caught up in your finances, get a job, be able to get stable, get a nice foundation, and get your ass off food stamps. I'm trying to support you for your whole life. I'm trying to get you through your struggle so you can move on, and everybody else can be able to get what they need to do so they can move on. We can all. That's the problem with America. We want to sit there and just not try to be able to better ourselves. We just expect it to be there for. Oh, you just expect a handout. Man, if you don't go out there and get it, hey, I got you. It's like if somebody comes up to you like, hey, let me borrow $50. I know you got a $50 cure-all. And the next pay week they come back for $50 more. You live in the wrong life. How do you feel if somebody comes to you like every month ask you for the same amount of money every damn month? Like, damn, I just gave you some money.
All right, Ronnie, my bad. We got another caller calling in. This that's Top Cat. Go ahead.
Got it. They got it.
Let's hear from Top Cat. All right, Ronnie, I appreciate you.
From
Top Cat.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
What it do, Top Cat? Damn. Top Cat hung up as soon as I picked up. Thank you, Najee.
Roller.
What it do?
What it is. I was just listening a little bit. I didn't know exactly. I got here kind of late, man, because it's raining like hell. I've been doing shit, but I didn't really hear what Dorsey had to say.
What up,
I heard what
Puzzles?
Ronnie had to say.
Dorsey said quite a few things. He said, what up, Puzzles? He said, he for free lunch. He's not for remittance payments. People sending money back home. He is, he's for the He said at first he want to keep SNAP the way it is. Then he said that it should be for the kids, not the parents.
And that's a mouthful right there, but I understand his theology, like how he's thinking about it. But I mean, and that's why I say I hear what Ronnie's saying, but I don't know if Ronnie have no kids or not. I don't think so. But if it's to an aspect of me having to deal with the system, especially being a male, like what we're talking about when you say women and infant children, everybody knows what WIC is. The system was based off that in the first place. That's why there was always the missing man and that situation always going on with getting any benefits, So I understand that point of it, but it's already been approached like that. So I think it does need to be some reform on that aspect, being a man that had his own children, you know what I mean, and the other person was out the household. It was a very hard thing. I went through a lot of hard situations with the social service system, dealing with the point that I was a male with my children, with the other parent out the household. And other people don't think about it because it's kind of a rare instance, but I can say I can actually be that voice from the other side that says, hey, it's hard when you go up there when it says you have to put your name where it says mother or when it says parent it's a woman, or it's not even a something on the paper for you if you're male. It's not even something that is considered. So I understand where George is coming from with that. And Ronnie, I understand some of his points because he's pulling out the points of the hard things to discuss in between the two situations. But when it comes to the point of people stacking, and that's what I call it when you're sitting over there, month to month, you sit up here for 8-10 months stacking, I think that they need to have a point of investigating those things once they see a certain amount, because they're already dipping into your situation in your own home that much. They want to know what your bank account is. They want to know how many cars you have. They want to know everything. So why is it a point once they're looking at the cars which they have control of, and they see that they're stacking to a certain point, that they're not looking at it? Because most of the time those are usually foreigners that are doing those type of situations. So they're already in a better situation than what they think they are, and then they stack that and then make that extra 5 rack, or make that extra, it don't even have to be 5, make that extra 300. It doesn't even matter what it is. But how do you feel about what I'm saying? Do you think that they need to investigate more on people that's pulling up? Okay, so say you get FSs, and now you're sitting over here with over 5,000 FSs in your account, and we're just sitting up there saying that's your right. But what is the point why I'm digging into this person that might have a bank account that they had 5 years ago? They don't even have the account. So I've stopped their benefits because they never brought proof of that account in, and I stopped their benefits. But this person has $5,000, but I can't investigate why they're not feeding, already it's to a point, these are for you and your children, and it's looking like you're not feeding your children.
Okay.
So I know that that's game. Me from where I'm at, I know that's game. That's the game. And then I see who it's benefiting. And the other thing I wanted to address about this is a little bit different because I haven't been there, Plug. I'm sorry, brother. So I'm just addressing what I just heard. To the point of how people are moving with social services. And, you have foreigners, you have illegals, you have all these points, and then you have the point of they're mixing human rights and regular civilization and things that every human should have, like, a place to use the restroom, a place to shower, a place, all these different things, and they're mixing it in with social services for people that are completely supposed to be citizens. And I think that if there is the biggest change in that should be the biggest change. Why are people that are here for social services, as if social services is a universal UN situation rather than an American and state situation? So every state that you go to does have different bylaws, but they still consider the point of a humane basis. I think that those points of them getting food and food stamps and all that should be more of it's kind of messed up to say, but more of a FEMA situation, rather than them dipping into the state's funds and the regular funds that are allocated for these people. You get what I'm saying? So why are we the funds we have put here for the people that we know are citizens and know are contributing to this society? Why are we dipping into those funds to deal with people that we know are illegal or know that are trying to matriculate into here? Why isn't that part of more of a UN or more of a government situation compared to the states actually dealing with it the same way that they're dealing with it? That's just another approach. And then on just the cyclicary point of it, just so the cycle, just how it goes in a circle. I'm watching that everybody has to worry about what happens with those different things because those things go back to another country. But we still haven't taken care of our country. So the dollar that circles around in certain situations and then goes back to their country compared to anyone else in this country, it's us that are the worst. We don't cycle $1 back into the black community or into an American community. I'll do it like that. It's an American community that contributes to also other American things. And for the people that's always sitting up there talking about single mothers and black people and whatever the situation is, they're never looking at the point that those dollars that get given to them are never cycled between them again. They get it once, they spend it at the store, they spend it at Kohl's, they spend it somewhere else, and it goes into a total different situation where every other nationality, that same situation goes around from 5 to 10 times in the so-called Asian situation or the Hispanic situation or Latino situation or Caucasian situation. The money spends there. That dollar touches 10 Caucasian hands or it touches 10 Hispanic hands or it touches 10 Asian hands before it leaves the community. And then once it leaves the community, it gets cut in half back into America and then sent to a whole nother country. There's only one nationality in the United States where their dollar never goes back into their community. Even the Indians, now that they have a reciprocating thing with the casinos where their money actually rolls around in their own hands more, where we always, every dollar that's allocated to us, even from the government, is supposed to be pushing the American economy. That's what it was supposed to do in the first place. But once you start adding these other entities in, that's where you're seeing the money actually not secular going back into itself for this country.
Top Cat.
Top Cat.
What it do, Top Cat? You back?
Not bad, man. It's raining. It's storming like hell and crazy. It never rains in California, but it is today. So it's raining. I don't know what the hell happened. I ain't even touching my phone and that shit went off. But basically, I'm speaking to these things to give some subject points, or more information so people have more subject points to have when they come in here talking. So with the last point that I was speaking on was how money goes around in certain communities and then gets basically pushed out into other countries and other situations like we're seeing Trump do now. So point where these social service situations are being used to give abundance to other nations. And we have to understand that I think that it should be changed to a point where we're addressing the people that have the opportunity to actually do that. And that's the biggest problem I see with the social service situation. We're not talking about medical benefits or people going to the hospital and dealing with those situations. We're talking about when we hand you things that can be changed into actual currency. Or, no matter how you get it, it can actually be changed to currency and pushed out of the United States are pushed back into these other countries to build their economy or help people. And there's nothing wrong with that. Of course, you're going to love and try to help your family. But there is a national situation that's going on to a point where we're contributing to a point where we're in debt in different situations where these things were created to take care of the people here. These systems get matriculated and mixed into each other instead of that being a whole different situation. So you have the police and then you have immigration. So why, when it comes to social services, that the immigration point completely leaves? Okay, I got something from immigration that says I'm supposed to be here. Now I can go to social services and do that. They should handle that whole situation on their end, and then they can look at the point of how things are getting spent and things are getting doing, where your addresses are and different stuff, and make sure that you're in a position where you're not basically raping the United States and putting that money back into a different country where this money should be circulating in the United States way more times than what it is. How you feel about that, Flood?
No, I mean, of course, money has to circulate in order to generate wealth.
Yeah, but you pretty smart. You too damn smart, goddammit. So you know how much money circulates in the black community.
Correct.
Once we are the actual foundation of the movement of money in the United States. They look at us as just a prop for the money. We never circulate money into anything. We don't have no industry. We don't have no beet sugar. We don't have no rice. We don't have no industry that we control or handle, except for the point of maybe some points of entertainment. But those are things that are being ambushed in a certain section and being taken over, and nobody wants to say it, but basically the other people not to be mentioned have taken over that sector since the beginning. We've never been able to be the producers or whatever. We have to be a different part of it. So if you get rich off of it, one out of every 150 people with that much talent that get to the position you are not in control of the people or who becomes the people that hold that much wealth. You have to actually use the public to get there. Michael Jackson has used the public. The Prince used the public. That it was public opinion that got them to that situation. It was never a point of generational wealth or them actually being in control of an empire to be able to actually distribute the wealth in different directions. We have that not in food. We have that not in entertainment. We have that not in land. We have that in no form. So every time that they give us money, they know that it's going back into their system. So every time that you go to Kentucky Fried Chicken, your money is out of the cycle of yourself. It's out of the cycle. The agents, they still go buy flop.
So what I want you to do is this. Like, have you ever just looked at a map of like the density of African Americans, like where the most dense regions of African Americans are?
Definitely. It goes down from Mississippi, Memphis, and then Texas, and then the different parts. So you got parts of Florida.
It's mainly the South. It's mainly the South. We can just say the South, and then you got some parts of California, you know. So we have to understand that in the South, that was real Jim Crow. There's not much. We're talking about when we had things like Tulsa and we do have all black communities. There are some places where there's all black towns where everything there is black. But when we're talking about on a larger scale, like in the main big larger cities, and just across the region, it's like it was Jim Crow. Like people got ran out of there. Like we're 50 years away from that? Not even 50 years away totally.
Not 50 at all, bro. I'm not 50 yet, and it went on until I was damn near out of high school, so damn near until 90 something.
So when we're talking about this ownership and stuff, we got to understand that the other groups that we're speaking on that comes in and gets ownership, if we're speaking about the Latinos, of course they have very dense areas. They kind of have regions like in the Southern Cali and in Texas. It's places you go where, like I said, it's mainly Hispanic, so they can thrive there. When we talk about the pretty much any other race, they get grants, you know, they get incentives to come over here and start business. Yes, black people do get incentives to start business as well, but we had that Jim Crow going on. Now more than ever, we have to start. You know what I'm saying? Today's the day. You know what I'm saying? When do we start? You know?
But you can't do, see, this, and I'm glad you brought that up, and I'm going to let you know I'm 100% into every exact point that you're talking about. I figure I got to stop doing that. I figure that everybody understands things enough to understand that minimal point. Is okay, do Jim Crow and do everything. The misconception once these social services came in split us up a lot more. And people don't understand it. And they got people thinking a different way where the land means nothing. I've watched land leave. I watched most of these places that you talk about. People own land. Of course, there was Jim Crow. People were pushing them out, trying to take their land, discriminating against them, not letting them sell their crops and all these different things. But the more that we stuck it together and had our own communities, and when these people actually profited off of us. So if you grow the best corn in, what the hell is the corn state? I forgot. Whatever the fuck the corn state is. Nebraska. That flat ass state.
Nebraska.
Well, yeah, so Nebraska. So if you were a black, you were in a little tiny black community of 50 people, and y'all grow the best corn because you got somebody from the South that actually knows the land, knows the layout, knows everything about how to do this, and they came into this great place and they picked their land where it could do the best. Okay, that corn is never leaving Nebraska. They're going to buy out of everything. So I live in this citrus belt, so I kind of understand this over here. They have all these different companies, but they all are still bought up by one company. Sunkist bring their own trees over here. Have you grown their own trees? They have a whole bunch of independent people grow their own trees, Sunkist oranges, and then they come in and buy it at a certain rate, you know, at a certain price. That makes these people feel like they're getting up. Well, when those things change and they change the mind and social services and different things change, these people were pushed out. There was different immigrants that came in here and pushed out. That's part of Jim Crow that nobody talks about. That they always talk about this. I forgot that movie. Do you remember, Plug, the name of that weed movie that came out in like 1930 or 1940 talking about Hispanics and herbs? Like basically if they came over here, they're going to smoke. Oh, Reefer Madness. That's the name of the movie. Y'all young, I'm sorry, brother. Y'all check out this, anybody's listening, check out this movie called Reefer Madness. And they put that on Hispanics to try to slow Hispanics before they wanted them to come over here. They tried to say that they smoke herb and they're going to come over here, they're lazy, they're going to rape your women, they're going to lay out and be homeless in the streets and all that. Well, after that happened, and they wanted to displace the black farmers and black agriculture workers, which was 90% of the black people that came from the South. Most of them moved because they had a trade, and they either went to Chicago, Ohio, some of those different places that came west, but all the other people were agricultural workers. That's what they've been doing for the last 400 years. So once they got sick and these people wanted their money, then came the agents. They pushed them in. Plus all the laws, plus taking your land, plus not letting you have jobs unless it was military or working through a certain point where you had to go through the census. You didn't get to start your own businesses and different things. But as you move west, that thing was totally different. If you go to the Los Angeles, you'll hear about the East Siders. It will fuck your head up. Think about this. Okay, so you know California's, you know about our economy, right, Plug? You know we're a beast of economy in this world, right?
Correct.
We're a beast because we have the biggest, Long Beach is the biggest import-export shit in this world. Bigger than Japan, we have the biggest fucking shit. And then San Francisco, and then go up to Washington, then down here to San Diego, then just regular other parts of Los Angeles. We have a whole bunch of ports and different stuff. So import and export is a big point of our situation. Well, how would you feel to understand that each one of those places were owned by all black people, and they sold that? They actually sold it. They had to now. You got Jim Crow, you got people forcing you out, You got different situations, but you think about every port for you to be that successful in the world right now, to be in the top 5 of economies in the world, and each one of them, I mean, every single one of them was owned, were black owned. Now, California economy is based on something that was black owned that was taken from them. Forced out. They owned all the fish companies. They owned all of that from 1890 to, I say, 1930. And they were all forced out. And the only thing that accumulated from all that was maybe 4 black banks in Los Angeles. Everything else was taken over. Hollywood was taken over. All those different lands, all these different things were taken over because those people were tricked into thinking that they were into high society then. Oh, we get to live in Brentwood. We get to live in these different places. So, like normal, they made black people be crabs in the bucket. They used Jim Crow. They used the Willie Lynch understanding of things to turn those people against each other. Even though they're trying to help each other, these were the more proficient. People don't understand that Compton was a rich and affluent area. All the areas that you look at and think in California that were terrible were the most rich and beautiful areas. And then they get turned into ghettos when somebody else wants to move higher on the hill and look down on them. So I know exactly what you're talking about. There's a book that everybody should read called The Making of a Ghetto, and you'll find out that it's a plan. It's a colonistic plan. You to build up the place and make it beautiful and do everything, and then once it becomes at the same property value where it doesn't move because it's inner city, then the affluent people get moved out of it, and you move somebody else in to rent it, and now it becomes part of just a regular cycle if somebody uses for their economy. It becomes a ghetto. And the ghettos are going to always be behind everything. I tell everybody, we after dark, right, Flood?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I don't give a fuck, motherfuckers. Go look at it. A ghetto is always going to be behind a couple things. A freeway, a fucking wall, warehouses, or a train track. Go check your life, and you'll go see that these are set up things. Those 4 things I just told you about are always going to be there. On the other side, it's always going to be the things that feed off of that. And they call it the suburbs, but that's not what it is. That was actually, those suburbs will become the same thing in a certain amount of time. That's why I say people don't realize that capitalism doesn't really work that great unless there's new land or new something to feed on. There's nothing to feed on. Capitalism doesn't go that high because capitalism is based on competition. Who gets to this new stuff and uses it to the best of their abilities first? For some things, but once the land is full, it ain't that great. That's why capitalism doesn't roll in Europe and all these different places that great, because these people have different centrics that change how they live and what they want. And capitalism might mean cut down all the rubber trees in Africa. Well, that's what's been supporting Africa for all this time. Well, this month we cut them down and put this here, and it makes us money for right now. They don't care. Capitalism really, truthfully, doesn't care about tomorrow. Tomorrow doesn't matter to capitalism. It's who wins today. So it's good for certain things. It's good for colonizers. It's good for certain situations of building the country up when they need resolve. But after the land is full, what's going to happen after then? So this food stamp situation, all these different things are happening because everything is getting full now. Seeing capitalism turn in on itself. Now, if you don't have a major centralization of making money from what's going on from everywhere else, why are these same places that used to be the richest places in the United States the poorest places? Like we just talked about, Mississippi, Jackson, certain parts of East Texas, certain parts of Carolina is starting to build up now because people are moving out there because they put themselves up with their shrimp and their different things. But other than that, where is their infrastructure other than plantation infrastructure? It's last this long. Now they have to change their infrastructure. Really ready to deal with the influx of 150,000 people coming to your state? Different minds and different things? Yeah, truthfully, they are because they need it now. But before, they've been living off this old secular money this whole damn time. So Arkansas is kind of even. you from out there, Arkansas been kind of even this whole time because they made money a little bit different way. Like, what is the number one thing, Plug, to go to Arkansas and what's y'all number one tourist attraction in Arkansas?
You got quite a shit. You know, it's the natural state. You got duck hunting, you got deer hunting, you got hog, you got hunting, you got fishing, you got the diamond mines, you got the gangster museum, you got where Al Capone them used to hide out, you got the bathhouses, you got the Garden Lights, you got a bunch of shit.
So I'm saying those are natural aspects. I'm saying straight tourist attractions. So when you say hunting and different stuff, that's okay. That's regular activities.
Yeah, you got the bathhouses. You got the bathhouses, and then you got the gangster museum where Al Capone them used to hide out. You got casinos.
Yeah, but those that's what I'm saying. If you go with Al Capone, you go with Bonnie and Clyde, you go with those are things that people. I'm saying, what is a straight up like that you have that is a tourist destination?
We got amusement parks, if that's what you're trying to say. I mean, we got some amusement parks.
Museums, are they connected to the colleges? Are they connected to the universities?
Nah.
Completely independent. Okay, that's different. So you do have that. So museums. Hunting is hunting. So shit, really ain't
we got the Arkansas Derby. You know, you can't get the Triple Crown without coming through Arkansas.
Okay, so you're talking about horse racing?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got the Derby. Okay, so that's still an event. I'm talking about straight tourist shit. Disney World or Grand Canyon. You understand what I'm saying?
The Grand Canyon natural. What did you talk about? The Grand Canyon that was falling in.
Grand Canyon. If you go to see the Grand Canyon, it ain't the number one place to go to Arkansas. See, you're gonna come way down here to New Mexico,
what I'm saying is Arkansas don't got the Grand Canyon. I'm just saying natural shit. That's like Grand Canyon would be considered going to see something natural, and that's basically what Arkansas has. It just falls in the same category is what I was saying.
But I'm saying like bathhouses. So we're calling them bathhouses, but they're really just natural springs, right?
Kind of. I mean, you have the natural springs, but then you have a bathhouse that comes with, it comes with amenities, It's almost like a spa. It's not just, you got the natural spring where you can go out there and see it, put your hand in it. Then you have the bathhouses that's more like a spa.
So the natural springs they're warm, right? They're just not springs. They're actual warm springs, right?
Yeah, they hot. Yeah, they hot.
You have natural hot springs.
Correct.
Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. What do you come like out here, California? You see the redwoods. Even if in the middle of Los Angeles, this gang banging Ice Cube, tripping blood, Crip gang shit, you can go to the La Brea tar pits, and right there is the most prevalent archaeological finds that have happened in the last 200 to 300 years.
Yeah, that's how it is. Yeah, we got natural diamonds. You come to Arkansas, look for diamonds. You know what I'm saying? You come, you got the hot springs. Yeah, shit like that.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Even what you're telling me, that's more than what I actually knew. I probably did. I kind of had a hint of it, but you're reminding me of new stuff. Now go through these states, look at the different things. That's not going to bring you a Disney World amount of people. It's only certain people that's going to want to do those things. Truthfully, on health situations, if they're going to the hot springs and different stuff, they want that sulfur water or whatever to see what it does to their skin. They want to go. It's very luxurious. Everybody, it's kind of a hidden gem. So that's what I'm saying. As you go from certain points of the economy of the United States, yeah, you have your benefits, but those are going to be for people that don't even, certain people that from that state or in that proximity. They're not looking and saying from Thailand, I need to go to Arkansas to go to the hot springs. How many hot springs did they pass before they got there? So we got hot springs out here, right not next to it, but a couple, less than 30, 45 minutes from desert hot springs, where we have bathhouses and all these different spas they still have more hot springs in Palm Springs. And then I have Crystal Lake Springs. We have so many different natural shits that are popping off that are volcanic for that situation. Then we have the redwoods. Then we have the regular forests. Then we have the Methuselah tree, the oldest tree in the world. Then we have a tree that they found out is older than that in Harupa that's supposed to be fucking 15 damn near million years older than that tree. It's different things that are going on when you go to these different countries. That's just natural. Then aside from that, you got Knott's Berry Farm. You got Disneyland. You got San Diego. You got when you go to San Diego, you got the Wild Animal Park. You know, so I know they have zoos and shit in Arkansas. I know because they ship animals in between California and Arkansas to zoos. Like, but y'all do hold, because y'all have a decent amount of land up there, y'all hold animals, you know what I'm saying, and different stuff that people don't even know is out there. Like, damn, there's a lion in Arkansas. Like, they have a lion park. They do have a different couple of those different things that I've seen before. But basically, all I'm saying, I've already been long-winded, but what I'm saying is, the structure of the United States and how our social dynamic goes to the point of how we deal with foreigners, illegal or not, and how we deal with people that are citizens and have been a part of this country for so long is too intertwined. And that's just my own opinion on that. And that's, you know, I don't see myself as an American. I see myself as a United States citizen. My ancestors and everybody have worked for that point of things. But when I'm American, that means that Jim Crow didn't matter to me. That's when American counts. And I think it's going to be a long time before I get to that disposition. United States citizen. Do I move as an American, and what am I proclaimed as? But even in America, I'm not treated like an American. The smallest in this population, and to be where I'm sitting at in the population, 1 out of the 10. But I can't get any of the amenities of anybody anywhere. Social services need to be separated. That's what I think. So I think that it should be more considered a national UN situation dealt with by the U.S. as if we're dealing with a national thing, compared to the point that those social services situations are dealt with as if other people are American citizens. As you matriculate, why do you even want to matriculate to be an American if you get less benefits than you get if your ass is an immigrant?
Hell yeah. Well, look, Top Cat, we finna get up out of here, man. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta get to sleep. I gotta get up early in the morning.
All right, man. Hey, we got to do a heated debate. That's what I was gonna tell you. I'm sick of them talking about we were too nice to each other on the last debate. We got to get a heated debate, brother. You gotta get one where you like, Top Cat, shut your ass up. Who the fuck do you think you is? We gotta have one of those good debates, man.
Yeah, we gotta figure out something.
I'll talk to you more about that, you know what I'm saying, but we got to get one going, brother.
All right, we'll be back in the morning and tomorrow night, man.
All right, man, 100.
All right, Top Cat. Yeah, chat, man, I got to wake up in the morning, man. It was good rocking with y'all. I will see y'all in the morning, man. Be sure y'all have all notifications on. Double tap the screen on your way out of here, and we are still 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal, man. I'll see y'all on the next one. Good night, chat.